Hello.
Hey Sass. Oh, I didn't realize. Yeah, those are like new emotes. Cool. Way to get your custom
Yeah.
little guys. Use a total of 5,000 bits in Sasquatch's channel to permanently unlock the Some Over Award. What the hell? Nobody told me about that.
They started rolling out like for certain channels emotes for just following, so I've seen that come up where people put some of their
Neat.
like really good ones as like, yeah, just follow and you get them.
Huh.
But I think they
I
might be
wonder.
limited to in channel. I'm not sure because I've definitely seen ones where like certain ones are only for
Sass is doing it on your channel. I don't know if that's because they're her emotes.
Well, they're regular reward ones, I think. No, it's only certain ones are following.
Okay. I should look this up and see if there's. No, I don't seem to have. Oh, bit tier emotes.
Yeah, that's a different one. That's for people like sending in bits. This is I think this is like limited.
Who cares about that?
Limited at the moment, where you can get like ones for just following a channel.
So they have to like unlock for you, or like.
Yeah, I think it's in a beta at the moment.
It's like getting the new Twitter or something. It's one
of
those
exactly, yeah.
rollouts. Wow, that's dumb as hell, but that's social media for you.
That's Jeff Bezos' platform for you.
Yeah, it's just like, it's all, I mean, it's just the same story. Retold, endless variations.
Also, apologies everyone, I've already said it to Zoe, but if you hear crunching, it's because I'm eating grapes, so I will try to turn away from the mic.
An excellent provision to have aboard a long sea voyage.
Exactly. Hitting. Does this have controller support?
It fucking better.
It does, but it's that's mouse on right stick. Oh, hold on, wait. This could be.
Oh boy.
Let me just check.
Virtual mouse.
This might just be because is Steam trying to does this just have?
I've been using a DualShock for computer playing, just because my Xbox controller, my 360 controller is like finally just gone. Like one of the analog sticks just does not cooperate anymore. And it is so obnoxious to get a PC to do anything with a DualShock, like even in this year,
really?
2021. Like it works most of the time, and then a lot of the time it just doesn't work for no clear reason. So it'll do stuff like it'll be like, I see the touchpad, because something about that is emulating as a mouse, but nothing else on the controller works. It's like weird stuff like that, and it's like...
No, I will tell you, so what I just had to do there, because I find this fairly often with Steam, is that it won't recognize that the game knows how to deal with a controller. So it will map keyboard and mouse to your controller. So you actually have to go and apply controller settings to your own controller within the Steam overlay thing. And then the game will work with it. I don't know why that seems to happen. Like, there's just some games that just happens, so I don't know why.
Yeah, I feel like I've encountered stuff like that too, and with like questionable amounts of success. Like sometimes I'll be able to get it to work. Oftentimes they'll just be like, "What the hell are you trying to do?" Like,
shit. All right, that's fine. How's the audio balance looking? That's annoying. I can't click out of the window without it killing the audio to OBS for some reason. There, it's kind of low. But
I'm totally up for Sea of Thieves.
Oh yes,
I definitely want to try that. Was there like a prospective date in mind?
I don't think so. I think this is kind of more a general one, and again, it falls in within our like It has skeletons. That's horror.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Just keep me in the loop. I'd love to. I've always wanted to play Sea of Thieves. I love that kind of game.
Yeah.
My only problem is I think we're not going to have a control unless Sass is the control. I feel like of the four of us, me, you, Jay, and Sass, our gamer psychographics with regard to like chaos are probably pretty similar or within like a couple standard deviations. So I feel like for that to like really work, you kind of have someone who actually wants to complete the objective and is like keeping you partially on task, so the chaos can break out in a controlled fashion. I'm not against it either way. I'm just saying.
We'll just see how it goes.
Musing about like a game that appears to be like somewhat technical.
I feel like those sort of games I can sometimes just find myself getting into, like, oh, let's find the treasure and blah blah blah. All right. And speaking of boats, let's straight into boats.
Let's fucking go. Oh, it's leaking.
Also, that menu when I launched it said that there's monsters that can kill you. So maybe there's actually some something in this besides just. Oh wait. This. Oh,
yeah, like an inventory for restoring your sanity via laudanum. Oh, got that amnesia style door opening.
Alright. That doesn't feel great on a controller, I'll tell you that.
No, it does not. Because I have played amnesia with one. It sucks ass. Hello. Oh man, throw that baby into a wall. Just bonk that head against the cupboard. That's what I'm waiting for. Oh, the unmooring.
Oh.
That's a phrase that can apply to both boats and someone's conception of reality.
Ooh.
Oh, Sass, so I was saying that of the four of us, me, you, Owen, and Jay, I think there is a decent amount of like inclination towards chaos among all of us.
But what happens when you play Deep Rock Galactic? Who's in control there?
Oh, Wealthy.
Of course. Oh yeah, of course.
If Wealthy's not playing, it can be trouble. And especially if the fourth slot is filled by somebody who's not wealthy. Because I like to do chaos mode. So if I feel like everybody's on board, I will like start the extraction right as a wave comes, just so we have to fight a double wave to get out. And the last time I did that, it was me, Jane, Grotz, and Lochnar. And it's usually the three of us, so they're used to it. But Lochnar was there, and I felt really bad because I was like, okay, a wave is coming, I'm pushing the button, so we're going to get the extra big extract wave. And then somebody was like, we didn't do that optional side event. And I was like, oh no. So we panicked and did that too, and it was extremely fun, and we made it out with like 11 seconds to spare, and that's why you do chaos.
Yeah, I was like, I have not put the dollar into the Game Pass just yet, so I was kind of going, oh, maybe I will be the person who won't have played it, so that by showing me around, there will be some forced kind of
I have Game Pass. I guess I could play it. I don't really like to play those games by myself, and I like to learn them in a group and make all the mistakes in a group setting. I guess is how I would phrase that.
I know. So that's the thing. She was playing that the other day with Jay, and she spent her Bing points to buy it. Great.
What is a big point?
You used to get so I looked at it because I knew you used, because Jeff Gerstmann would talk about this, where you used to get points for like searching stuff on Bing, and you could spend this. You could spend them on like Microsoft products. And I was like, oh, can I do that and get like my $1 for Game Pass? And they've changed it all now. No. It's a new system where you like have to like sign into the Xbox app and play Xbox games and stuff. I was like, I'm not doing that. I'll just pay the $1.
Microsoft keep trying. Remember they had some kind of turn-in thing for like Xbox 360, probably on the order of 10 years ago, where it was like if you got like 2,000 achievements, you got $5 in Microsoft funny money.
Yeah. And that was the thing that they like had to, they eventually stopped because people were just hacking achievements or something, wasn't it?
Good for them. Nice. I love it.
Calling out to him.
Yeah, but I went, okay, let me sign up for this, do the like intro quests, you know, you do your dailies to get your like however many points. It's like, what do I need to book to get like my free month of Game Pass? Oh, I need like 4,000 points. How many have I got? Like 120. Like, no. Look, I'll give you the $1. It's fine.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh shit, Tony Todd is in this game.
Oh really? Oh.
That's the only name I recognize, but I love a Tony Todd.
I just rewatched the original Candyman there the other day. Kind of because
that holds up.
It really fucking does. It's such
like
a good movie.
I watched it again maybe like a year or two ago because Gratz had never seen it, and like the original Candyman is actually pretty fucking good.
Like it's so like act. Oh, okay. Very
whoa.
Yeah.
It was like 1970s like title screen.
Yeah, very sitcom-y or TV show title screen. But yeah, no, I watched it there the other day and gone, oh, this actually still holds up really well.
The new one is pretty good too.
I'm that's part of the reason I watched it. Kind of I will watch the new one sometime soonish. And I do
there's a drive-in theater in San Jose, so me and Gratz have seen like 2 or 3 movies there. Drive-ins are like pretty fun and less guilt about COVID, because I just like movie theaters are the one thing that I'm like, it is patently absurd to sit in a dark, possibly poorly ventilated room for 2 hours
always
and act
poorly
like
ventilated.
you're like, act like you're observing any kind of like safety protocol. It's like, I'll push it for restaurants
once you get there,
because I think at this point, like, I would probably go insane if I didn't go to a restaurant every once in a while. But like, I just feel, I don't know, that's my like personal COVID schematic. I feel like everybody's got their own rules. Yeah, Sass says I only go to watch theaters that watch anime movies, and it would be like me and 4 people.
Yeah, I was gonna say
kind of. That's kind of. I feel
be.
like Nanatsu has talked about that even with like regular mass market releases, the theaters just being totally empty. So I get it. I think for me, it's just like I'm too anxious about like, oh, gotta do the top one too. I'm too anxious about the reverse being true, and I walk in expecting like 3 people in the theater, and it's like for some reason just fucking packed.
So again, it's the sort of thing. If I know here just recently, they made like they've decided that public transport can be fully like full seating again. So I was on a train. I was like getting trains and buses recently, but it's very clear that the staff have gone no. Even when I was booking tickets, it's like, well, these sold out very quickly, and then I got on the train. It's like, oh, this is nowhere near full, and it's just because they're actually only advertising like 50 to 60% of the seats at any given time, which is entirely.
That's good.
I was going, yeah, that's fine, but like, that's public sector workers with a strong union. I don't trust that.
I don't know. Even then, like. Public transit around here certainly seems to be operating at like pretty much max capacity. I mean,
it definitely depends.
If you go during the day, it can be pretty empty, but like at rush hour, I've been on some standing room only buses.
This way,
yeah, I think city buses are kind of like that here, but I'm gonna turn you up a bit there in Discord. You're still a bit quiet for me. Like I was on intercity buses, so I was going from I had to take a train up to Limerick, and that was fine, and then I was on a bus up to Clare, and that was pretty empty. That was also kind of a much more like regional route though as well, like a lot of rural towns pass through, not really like city to city expressway, but still it's quite enough.
Yeah.
Sass, by the way, how is the audio balance there? Because I've literally just been mucking around with audio as of yesterday, so if anything sounds very broken, let me know.
Oddly, I'm getting some like artifacting and stuff. Like there's
On me?
a little
On
bit,
the
yeah, a little bit of buffering in the Discord stream.
right. That's probably, like I said, I put a filter on my mic, which would actually affect it in here.
Oh, really? Just because it adds like processing?
Might be. How's that? Does that make any difference, or is that still? Oh, hold on. Actually,
let me see. Let's move around a little bit.
Okay. Could also
see
be.
if it goes fuzzy.
Oh, hold on. I think I also had the noise suppression switched on in Discord, which I think often mucks up stuff. So that might go back to normal there now in a second.
All things for me to make note of.
Yes, so I have a full day of streaming, like I said, ahead of me. Just
yeah. Got to keep everything running smoothly.
Exactly, yeah. Gotta, get all this good boat content in. People love to see it. So it's all anyone's talking about is all these boats. Picking this up. I am, okay. Console boat games before PC stuff. Yep, that sounds alright to me. Thoughts about workshop and prefer got to detailed briefings. Stowaways not retarded. Oh, you're like tiny to oh. So we played Hydrophobia. Oh no.
Hey.
That's I believe, did I add that to our list in the end? I can't remember now.
What? Yes, that's Altulus. Are you scooping our games?
Well, it's alright, because if she introduces me to any, I'm going to steal them for later full playthroughs.
Naturally. Okay, yeah, because you're just going to be doing preview stuff anyway.
You know, Sasa style is kind of like 20 to 30 minutes, unless it's a really good game or something.
Yeah.
All that nonsense.
Oh, I forgot. Did you play some of Getting the Car Loser? Or did you stream some of it?
I played like an hour or two of it. It's pretty cool.
Because I'm definitely want to play. Definitely will get around to that. I think it's been like it's a good week for like for free games between like Chapter 2 of Deltarune and then this and the game I'm playing tomorrow of the the Kill Margaret Thatcher Dune mod.
Oh yeah, I've only heard of that through you.
Yeah,
so I don't really know what it is.
It's only getting released. It's getting released tomorrow, so I'm hoping it comes out in time. I'm hoping it's out by the time I'm actually ready to stream. But we'll see. If not, I'll play some Doom 2 while I'm waiting.
No doubt. Yeah, I couldn't believe Getting the Car Loser was free. Good for them.
I did buy the. I think so. That was the funny thing. Of I looked at the the Steam activity feed, and it was just friend after friend after friend after friend has bought the DLC.
Yeah, no doubt. Like I was like, it's a hell of a business model. I hope it works out for them.
Oh hey, Pyrocat.
Hey, Pyrocat.
Yeah, boat fever.
There's no stopping this boat train. Indeed. How do you think the boats get to the ocean? They just load them up on trains. That was actually like, perhaps this will be the topic on every one of these streams for a long time, but one of the parts was of that article about the Satoshi. For those unfamiliar, the failed Bitcoin mining, seasetting cruise ship.
Yeah, the libertarian cryptocurrency boast that never was. Effectively.
Is when they eventually realized they had to give up the ghost, they were like, what the fuck is a dry dock? I think they were just like, we're just gonna leave this boat in the ocean and see what happens. And they were quickly corrected of their misapprehensions.
Now, maybe it's just because I live in a port city, which will come up tonight as when I'm trying to sass about Titanic. But like, I know what a dry dock is, and I go like, I've never thought of owning a boat.
Yeah, it's just what's like funny. They were like completely taken aback by I think it actually happened twice because there was like a thing where they were like, "Oh, you can't just do maintenance on a boat like in the ocean." Who the fuck?
Jump through hoops before he even lets him on the set.
Is this us? I don't think I've ever.
Of building the character. Bunch of artsy-fartsy bullshit, if you ask me.
Or is this like somebody else's voice?
I'm pretty sure this is someone else's voice because this is meant to be a.
Okay, like an audio log kind of, or like a recollection.
Yeah, because the stuff we've been reading up until now has been like about some director filming a film on the boat, so that's probably like a producer or something.
Yeah.
Oh, we've apparently got a special guest cameo on the stream tonight. That'll be interesting. Have you recruited a one of the many Pirish-themed VTubers?
So what if the guy's a little nuts? He's a director.
Yeah, this guy's a producer.
I was hoping for like Tommy the Tugboat.
Kill ya?
We got James Cameron himself, apparently, director of Avatar, and the soon-to-be released Avatar 2.
I think it's all an act.
That mask.
Oh, what have you done? This priceless artifact.
And Avatar 3 and Avatar 4, yes. Oh, have you finished Deathloop, by the way? I forgot to ask how you're getting on with that.
I think I'm probably pretty close. I think I like play those games slowly and poorly on average, and then like the whole time loop thing means I also play them fairly inefficiently. So I haven't played it for a bit, just because I've been busy. But I went into it last night and like got a bunch of stuff done, and I think I'm basically at the point where I figured out how to finish the game. I think I have to like wrap up one or two more side quests to get, because the kind of end game I think involves finding a way to kill all 7 dudes in only 4 time periods, so you have to like do little subquests at specific times to get them to go to the same areas later in the day. And I think I've got like 1 more of those to do. There's like a neat amount of like little hidden, seemingly optional puzzles for lore that involve like radio stations and all that stuff that people enjoy, secret numbers. So I've been like spending a lot of time plumbing through that and trying not to look up walkthroughs for anything. One of the like weirdest things I had to look up a walkthrough for was how to find a crank handle. There's all these like crank handle puzzles, and I've had such a disappointing time with what they reward, because it is so hard to get a crank in most cases, and then you like bring it to a chest and it's like, here's a rare gun.
Oh wait, hold on, we've got I think we might have a puzzle here. Look, it's a lock, and it's got 3 numbers on it.
Oh no.
And
what
up
do we
here
do?
I can see some strange symbols up here in this thing. I wonder if they're somehow related.
Is it your dead son talking to you from beyond the grave?
Maybe. Also, I can't figure out how to like actually interact with the.
No shit.
Move.
What is the Castlevania GBA collection coming out? What is that coming out on? Like
everything. Which is annoying because I just started playing, because I've been playing Circle of the Moon and having the problems with the Wii U, and now it's like, oh, I could just have waited another month and it would have been on PC. Which, you know what, I'm just glad that that's actually being released on other stuff, and because that makes me hope then that the DS games might get ported and more people will be able to play them again.
Yeah, I think at this point in my life I would be more excited for a DS collection. But no doubt, like, a lot of those games are very good. Or really mostly Aria. The other two I feel like are a bit more like curiosities of like, hey, you tried your best given the constraints of the time. Nothing creepier than phonograph music.
Bang on.
Have you ever seen the movie? What's it called? The Endless. It's like by those two boys, the two-boy duo, who like they're indie filmmakers.
Remind me, is that the first one or the second one in that duology?
The second one.
Yes,
the
then I
first
have seen that one.
The first is Resolution, I think it's called. The Endless is kind of neat because the conceit is like in this weird area, there are just all these individual time loops repeating. And so there's this one that's pretty creepy of just like about 3.5 seconds of some like 1880s gramophone type shit and a dude killing himself in a tent, like some, let's be real, like custard style, like Native American genocider probably, so no loss. He can suffer in the time loop forever.
So actually speaking of the loop, so I was asking as well because I've just finished playing Dishonored 2 because I've not played that yet. Which so I did the Emily run first, so I don't know how much like the abilities and stuff differ between her and Corvo. So that was a game I played. Like I went, I'll try to play stealthily, but like if I get caught, I'm just gonna block, and I'm gonna I was playing non-lethally, which unfortunately I did not realize when you're like choking someone out and someone like throws a grenade at you or like swings the sword at someone, that still counts as a kill. But I was getting to the end of those levels when it was saying like where it was like counting people dead. I was going, I didn't kill anyone. This was not me.
The amount of like culpability the game assigns for your crimes can be a lot. But Dishonored is a bit ridiculous like that, just because like it's one of those games where you have to be checking every few minutes if you like actually care about playing non-lethally. Because people will just die by accident.
Exactly. Yeah. Because I was like, I think.
There she is, Mr. Hardy.
Gosh, what was the first?
Vessel
I think the first person to die was because like I was choking someone out. Someone saw me and like ran over and just cut the person's head off while I was holding them. When Jesus Christ, that was not me. But then at the end, like I said, because I wasn't really like focused too much on stealth, especially like at the end. When I realized you could do the sliding tackle to like where you would run, slide, and then like do the attack, and you basically just jump on someone's head and crack it against the ground, which was pretty satisfying. And that's actually how I beat Delilah. Of like I just ran in a circle around her arena, and occasionally like occasionally I'd actually just have a bit of air on me, so I'd actually do a diving attack somehow. But it was great because I just like kept going around. It's a lot of fun.
Good for you.
And now I said, well, I'll play a Corvo run and I'll just do it like a lethal run. But I've basically just been doing that of like, of running around and just like, if I either punching people or stabbing people. But what I didn't realize, and I'm a bit disappointed I didn't start with Corvo, is that his version of the tackle is he basically just does a like full-on like boot kick to the chest when he hits them, and it's great because you just like you just kick people in the tits and send them flying.
Yeah, no doubt.
Be your heart soaked in doubt, or be there a fire burning within.
Wow, Owen, are you in a play?
I think it's meant to be a film, but
I guess so.
Early cinema was very just theatre, it's just heavily based on theatre production.
Yeah, I guess the first one said it was set in the 1920s. Is it like a similar vibe here?
I've definitely from like the like the style of lighting and everything. It's definitely early cinema. Also, the fact that it's just gone black and white makes me assume it's all about. Oh look, can you figure out the puzzle, Zoe?
I don't know. Haracter. Be ready to go back.
Ah, I wonder what that word could be.
God, it's really hard to. I don't know. It's pretty long. It's a lot of letters in there. You sure you're ready to guess all of them?
All right, let's start from the bottom and work back. Right, Z, H, Z, A,
No,
Z,
I don't
A,
think
C,
so.
T, Z, R. Is that anything?
We're just gonna do the full like substitution cipher till we get there.
Do I have to go back to where I was then? Okay. All right, I just have to go back. Some noises going on.
Yeah, just a few squeaks and squonks to keep you engaged. It's Layers of Fear's trick. At least until we see a kid run headlong into a dresser.
I hear a fucking frying pan noise.
God, like this game better have something equivalent to that.
Why did it suddenly tell me to run?
I am honestly like pretty taken aback that didn't get dealt with in some kind of playtesting way. Just because it's like so silly.
It's so goofy.
It's like one of the silliest things I've seen in a video game in like a really long time.
Oh, it's just so funny. But like it's the sound, like it sounds like something that that would play when Sassa's playing Dark Souls. Like it's in that it is entirely like a Looney Tunes like pan to the head style.
Come on.
Yeah. It's like whatever like royalty-free library you got this from, you need to send it back and tell them to relabel it.
I'm sorry, was there a cavern in this boat?
Listen,
was that like meant to be like behind the wall?
I think
because
so.
it looked like a cave.
Yes,
so
it
I'm
looks
just
like it's full
wondering
of...
if that was supposed to be like.
Yeah, it also looks like it's full of dirt, which you don't typically find on a boat.
Yeah, I was like, honestly, I've been in places like that, in like basements and stuff, not on vessels, to my knowledge.
I mean, look, there's clearly some. You see, there are clearly like multiple levels of artifice going on here.
Yeah, we thought we were in for a boat game, but we were in for a world-spanning adventure.
Let's see. Oh. No. You didn't see any numbers around, did you?
Not yet, but I will keep a more concentrated eye out for you.
Alright, looks like we actually have a puzzle this time. That's good.
Oh, I don't believe that for a second.
Unless I just have to like spin it or something. No, I think this definitely wants she wants a code. Okay. Probably back in the hole somewhere.
Back into the hole, Owen.
Back into the hole we go.
Yeah, I mean, you've got your like cable management stuff back here. I feel like this is a mine, though. Yeah, you've got your earth ceilings.
Let's have a look.
The amount of effort it would take to convert this scenario into a boat is worthy of a Neil. Shit, why have I forgotten that guy's name? Neil Stevenson novel.
Let's see. I feel like it would be in here. This doesn't seem like the sort of game where you're meant to like walk ages back to find the code.
Oh, no doubt. You definitely did not miss that in like a previous room or something. There weren't any like notes, perhaps.
Let me just double check. It was very dark in that room. I could have missed something. on the walls. Oh, hold on. I missed. There we go. By 10, 80, 40.
Wait, what? What is that?
It's a scrap of paper with it's
just a like composition book that happens to be sitting in this corner.
Oh yeah, something like no, it's actually just a bit of metal with some paper on it.
Oh sure.
Of course. What are our predictions for the Nintendo Direct? Let's see. Oh, crap, what was the number again? 10, 80, 40, right?
It shows you right there.
Oh, it does.
You took the scrap with you. Clever game design. Never let your player feel stupid, even for an instant.
10, 80. Oh, hold on. This is not the easiest thing to control. Wait, 10. Why 10?
I mean, being real, saves kind of always suck in video games. I never quite know what direction I'm supposed to be pulling them or why.
This is especially awkward because it's on the right stick, and occasionally the camera wants to move as well. It's not Okay, I had to let it go between each one, which is not the way you typically use a save. Let me find
In the land we've
shelf.
seen behind shut eyes, the one of bright shores caressed by tide, where there's no pain, no fear, no fury, no lies. There.
Anyway,
we shall
my
stand
prediction
tall,
for
our hearts full of
for
pride.
Nintendo Direct is they're going to take out every
If your dreams
character
are
from
bold,
Smash except the Fire Emblem
no man
characters.
bound. If your
Sure.
soul is strong,
And then add
unlike
more
any
Fire
other,
Emblem characters.
able to build walls,
Well, that goes without
fall
saying.
to the ground, then yours is this world, my little brother.
Oh, that's what's no boat games. I don't know. I think boat games are a flagging genre. I'm not really sure what's on the horizon yet.
Yeah. Does Donkey Kong Country count as a boat game?
It sure does, and that's why we should never play it.
Which boat are they in Smash? Didn't they? Isn't the Wind Waker boat already in Smash? And
Oh
then
shit! At
there
least
is
that's an assist trophy.
Yeah, and then there is there is a King K. Rool stage as well, isn't there? Maybe I'm misremembering.
Oh, there's definitely some kind of Donkey Kong boat. I could never stage in Smash. Like I could never forget that art style. It's the most toxic video game ever created. It's like fucking rare.
Right. Oh, can we add our slides to the projector? Oh look, the magic of cinema. The deer, and it's running, but I can't, because of the way it makes me look to interact with it, I can't square the screen. Oh, hold on. Aha, a mysterious door.
Okay, wow, creative. We're still in the first hour of this game.
That's still better than anything I saw. I can say that's still better than anything I saw the first Layers of Fear. So
no doubt.
That. And Layers of Fear had one good jump scare where you turn around and there's all these like.
And a baby walks into a wall.
No, it's before that. There's like a point you turn around, like you get to something stuck on a wall, and you turn around and there's like a number of like stacks of books that are shaped to look like people, and then they collapse, and then you then the ground collapses from under you. Which is actually not a bad. Like it's not bad. It's like oh okay, that's pretty decent. I think that's what happens.
Books have brought you.
Is wise enough to play the fool.
Ooh. Oh, hey Jay, Aubrey, or possibly
Hello,
both of you.
Jay. I assume it's usually Jay.
Well, they're on different work schedules at the moment, so no clue. What?
I saw Jay had solo brunch date, which I am like wholly in support of. I woke up early enough. Here's how my morning went. Or rather, my yesterday. So I spent Tuesday cleaning like just pounds and pounds of cat shit and kitty litter and cat food and other things from our roommate's room, who moved out abruptly to go into rehab. So like much love there, but her social circle has not been particularly helpful about retrieving any of this stuff, which has sort of left me and the one other like somewhat proactive roommate in the lurch. So we spent the day cleaning it because we were like, we have to show this thing to people. And during it, he was like, you should take the box spring and bed frame for your time. And I was like, I get it. And I'm going to do it just to go along with it. And then I swear last night trying to go to sleep, it was like the telltale box spring. I was like, I cannot sleep. I feel like I have stolen this. Even though I probably got fucking toxoplasmosis from cleaning out this girl's room, I still cannot get over the feeling that somebody is going to come and yell at me about this bed frame. Oh shit! You got the repeater now.
I got the gun from Dishonored. Oh.
See, the gun from Dishonored, that's like a fun video game gun.
It only one shot on it. I think that wanted me to like make a decision, but I just wanted to. I was lining up headshots and I was gonna go back and forth.
They wanted you to Spec Ops the Line that shit.
Yeah. Sorry, game. I do not take you seriously enough to make a listen to that.
Right. So I woke up this morning in like moderate to mild back pain, and I was like, the universe is telling me that this box frame is not good for me. Also, I have a foam mattress, and I feel like you're not supposed to use just like a regular box spring with those. So it might also have been that and not the universe. Right. So I like dragged it upstairs. I had to go to a hardware store this morning for other house related stuff in the attempt to like spruce up the place for new roommates. And while I was there, I was looking for a coffee shop and I found one, but like my neighborhood is such like it's always sunny. I think you should leave thing of like there's no cute restaurants in this neighborhood, like there's no cute coffee shops or anything.
I was wondering when the first I think you should leave reference would come up.
There
in
you
this
go. I just feel that so
mark your card, everyone.
In my neighborhood, and I'm like such a prissy like New Yorker that there literally is a cute coffee shop like within 5 minutes of my house. But I crave variety, or I just like want to keep trying new stuff because I'm in a new city, and I'm like, oh, there's actually not that much new stuff in my actual neighborhood. And it's like a 30-minute walk to the hardware store and this sort of like main strip where coffee shops exist. If you want a cute taqueria, they are so prevalent. You could eat a different burrito for like months and months, and I'm sure be just ecstatic about it every time. Like that's just been my experience as an East Coaster.
I would not mind some good
some incredible
some variety, like Mexican and like Central American style food. We've got like it's just not a thing that's prevalent in Ireland, so there's a couple around here, but there's like,
honestly, like I've probably said it on this street before, but every burrito I've had here from like any random taqueria is better than like the best burrito I've ever had on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And to the point where, like, not to put too fine a point on it, but one time I got a burrito that was so good that I felt like I was high eating it. I was like, this is a level of enjoyment I only derive from food. When I'm...
Child, are you going to bash your head off something? Please tell me you did.
Anyone but her.
No. Oh well.
Well, they can't just start with it bashing its head against the wall.
It's Chekhov's.
You gotta build to that.
It's Chekhov's boo-boo.
Oh my god. Oh, was the burrito laced with drugs? No, Sasquatchulous. Don't buy into boomer meme sharing email chain culture. Nobody's gonna put drugs in stuff they're not gonna make you pay for.
Most a pity.
Drugs are too expensive to give away for free. or as part of a package deal to hook customers, I guess.
Hello?
Yeah, that's awesome. Jay, remind me, are you in Portland? You just moved to Portland,
Yeah,
right?
they just got there like the start of this month, was it? I don't
Portland's
remember. I'll
cool.
look it up.
I've only been there once, but they just have like such a culture of like food trucks. So there are so many places just like in walking distance of kind of the downtown area or even a little beyond it, where
Actually,
you could just
is...
like walk into a parking lot of food trucks and they're all amazing.
That is something that the lockdown actually did well for here, was like a bunch of like, you know, places which weren't going to like try renting out like store space during the lockdown, or just went let's try doing like combination delivery and like food truck stuff, and like most of them are like, you know, coffee and pastry and stuff like that, but there's a few like good burger and you know, sandwich places as well. Oh wait, I lost? Okay, I think I died.
You could die in this game, are you sure?
That's what it said. So it said the monsters can get, yeah. That's what I'm saying. It said the monsters could kill you.
Yeah, that rocks, Jay.
Not much to walk into that thing. It's a minute to run.
When I went there was this like Korean burrito fusion truck that was so good I had to stop myself from eating it every time. I was like, I need to try other food trucks. I'm here for like a sampler, not to just drill down, but like the burritos were so fucking good.
This spot will do. Hurry, we have to secure
Have you been to Voodoo Donuts, Jay? And the like porn theater besides Voodoo Donuts?
You know what happens if they find us. They'll send us back.
How much is it like the TV show Portlandia at this point, Joe? That's the real question.
I'm sure it's not nearly even like how they set it out. But like, when I was there, which was like a few years ago at this point, probably like 6 or 7, I don't know.
I remember you talking about that. That was for a wedding or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, there was still like Unipipers were around and all that stuff. I definitely saw the Unipiper. It seemed like a pretty normal city to me, otherwise. Like,
yeah, I remember you talking about that.
It's small and like you can get around pretty easily. Whereas like New York is a miserable crush of people if you want to go anywhere that's like even remotely popular. I don't know. I mean, sure, do Voodoo Donuts, you gotta, right? I was not that impressed.
The door behind
There was actually like a brunch place within that neighborhood that like did nicer donuts. Yeah, it's just nice to be in a city where you can like feel like you can kind of get everywhere. Like where I'm at in Oakland, it takes like way more than an hour to get to San Francisco, and good half hour plus depending on the bus schedules to like get to downtown Oakland, which kind of stinks, which means you can't really like go there on a lark. You got to have like a plan in mind.
Yeah, I mean, I think I mentioned before, that's what I'm kind of used to, because as we've discussed, Cork is not a big city, realistically. It is very, like, if it wasn't for all the hills, it'd be incredibly bikeable. Like, the only thing, say, in my way of getting to, they've given us a clue, they've given us another...
Put the mask on. Is it a clue, or are they just going to keep gradually filling that out, and it's not even a puzzle? Reskasarsha. Is that meant to be like an anagram, or just like a jumble? Does that still say that says character?
It doesn't. No, but it doesn't, because it's missing an A.
Characters. Is that a different word entirely? It must be. Yeah.
Alright.
Show your true face, put the mask on, chip away the bloody marble.
Alright, 1 second, I'm going to switch on some lights and change my lighting, because when we had that, like, flashing light thing there, that did like weird things to my head. So one sec.
Right. Yeah. Let me refill water while you're away.
There's a problem I have at the moment with starting stuff around this time is that, like it's still typically like fairly bright. Well, not necessarily bright, but it's still like daylight outside when I start. And it's usually like about an hour in. It just gets really dark. All of a sudden, it's like, oh yeah, I need to actually switch on lights before I start streaming.
Yeah. Fortunately, I have a very long headphone cable, and I can just sort of scoot over to the other side of the room when I need to. Also, it's noon here, so pretty good on the lighting situation for now.
That definitely helps, you know.
I was going to say,
middle of the day and all.
In terms of fun restaurants, a local favorite of ours is quickly becoming Comida China, which is like Chinese food in Spanish. So you're just like riding the bus and you see this big sign that says Comida China on this place that literally does not even look like a restaurant. Like it just looks like a blank building face. Right. I don't know what you call it, but the food is actually pretty dope. And like, I don't know, it's nice to have like a cheapest Chinese store in the neighborhood again. Just there's not much like that in San Jose, weirdly. There's like a lot of good Asian food, but there isn't like a very standard like a American Chinese.
Sorry, I just realized I had a mark on the monitor because I was looking and going, why is this where the cursor is now? I was looking going, why does this toilet have the tiny joke fart hole from that one I think you should leave? And then I realized, oh no, there's a bit of dirt on the monitor.
It's a little tiny turd.
Yeah, joke hole just for fart, exactly. That's if nothing else, if you've got nothing else from these streams, viewers, then you should you should take the one takeaway from this is that you should watch I Think You Should Leave.
No doubt. That's my like middle-age goal in life as I enter my life's late middle era has just like become full-time. I Think You Should Leave proselytizer. Speaking the good word.
Yeah, there's worse worse things to do with your life.
Yeah, I figured I'd try to invest my time in something that really made a difference.
You could be one of those people who just watches The Office.
Oh, good lord. Yeah, look, all I do is watch I Think You Should Leave over and over again. I'm actually at like a really painful inflection point in my life where I've like rewatched all the It's Sunny episodes I care to rewatch now, and I'm just... It's like, what do I do with my life? Yeah. It's been like 3 or 4 weeks of this. Just being like, oh, if I need to shut off my brain, I can just press play on this Hulu window that has been open for a month.
That was kind of me when, like, because I mean, I don't always, like, I wouldn't say always recommend both these shows in the same way that I would say, oh, you should just watch I Think You Should Leave. But when both BoJack Horseman and The Good Place finished in like the same week, it's like, oh, that was my like touchstone of like Netflix and weekly TV, like once a season kind of thing. It's like, oh, okay, well, I'm just trying to find something else to fill that spot.
To fill the void.
I like to.
Now then, Miss Boat, what can you tell me about your mother? I don't want to think about anything button, aka popping an edible and watching Charlie work. Yeah, I think I've actually watched Charlie work like 3 times in the past 2 months because it like keeps. It was like on the edge of the rotation. I started somewhere near there, so I laughed myself and I like
think
I watched Charlie work again.
That is the one that that whole like red string board one from, isn't it? Is that
that's the one where him and Mac pretend to get jobs.
Yeah.
Somewhere, I don't really remember why.
I can't remember the name of title. I don't remember a title.
He gets lost kind of in the mailroom and goes off on his own tangent about
Pepe Sylvia.
Pepe Sylvia, right, which is his misreading of Pennsylvania. So that's fun. Charlie Work is the one where he's like shown to be hyper competent at managing the health inspection, and he has to like wrangle everybody else and their stupid scheme to like refund airline miles through like, or to get money out of airline miles by buying steaks, contaminating them with chicken, and then returning the steaks for money instead of airline miles.
Okay, I'm not sure. I've only seen like a few kind of random episodes of It's Always Sunny. I actually just need to say, I think for ages it just wasn't on like Netflix or anything over here. There was no convenient way to watch it, so I just didn't. And now I think it is actually on. I think it's on Netflix and a few other things, so I should just finally watch it.
The ending of Charlie Work is very good, Jay. Those characters are so bad. They're just so naughty. They're so mean to each other. I actually I think I finished watching like the last episodes I saw were about the Eagles winning the Super Bowl, and actually were like extremely cute, just in like a Philadelphia pride kind of way. I was like, oh yeah, people actually do care about this nice city with extremely shitty people in it. Like, it's just like there's Philly fans have their own reputation for being the worst sports fans in basically the world, and certainly the greater U.S.
Okay, from my perspective, on this side of the Atlantic, I always assumed it was Boston.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, Boston is probably per capita more racist, which is definitely a factor.
I suppose that's also my, like, most of the people, like, so just because of a lot of Irish people, like, just end up in, you know, if you're picking, like, the kind of northeastern states that do end up in, you know, Massachusetts and
right,
living in Boston. So maybe I just know more people who have been there and experienced, you know, Boston sports than I know anyone who say lived in.
Philly's got some like pretty legendarily bad incidents. The one I always bring up is when they threw batteries at Santa Claus. In their defense, apparently Santa was very drunk.
What? Why did you do that to Santa?
I think he was drunk. Or maybe I'm conflating two things. There's a time they pelted Santa with snowballs.
Okay. Good. Hey, Zerg. I'm just learning the deep dark secrets of Philadelphia sports.
Eagles fans throw snowballs at players, referees, and broadcasters.
That's a snowball. So that's not...
Michael Irvin's career-ending injury gets cheers. I remember that. I was old enough to see that live. Fans with D batteries at players. When he took the job as head coach, former Eagles quarterback Doug Peterson said he'd be fine because it couldn't possibly be out of his playing days when fans hurled batteries at him. The big ones, Peterson said of his plight when he was hired in 2016. Those D ones, I will spit at, beer thrown, but hey, listen, whatever. I figured there would be more details. My understanding was there was like a free battery promotion, and then something happened. Eagles fans won't stop punching horses.
Okay. I think that's always something I find very particularly bizarre about American sports. It's it's battery day, or it's,
yeah,
I don't know, fucking credit card day or something. I don't know.
All desperate to fill those feet.
That's just always something I found very. That is such a I never hear about that anywhere else. Automod caught something. Wait. Oh, I see. So this is funny. I will allow this to go through, though I agree with Automod catching this. Pyrocat linked a thing from NBC Sports, but it lists the name. It caught it because the URL has the old name of the Washington football team. So good on Automod for catching that. I'm allowing it, but I'm not making that a permanent change.
Yeah.
That's just a weird one.
No doubt. American sports are very racist. One time, one guy intentionally threw up on an 11-year-old girl.
What?
During a Phillies game in 2010, a 21-year-old fan named Matthew Clemens and his friend were escorted by security out of their seats for unruly behavior. However, on their way out, Clemens reportedly leaned over and put 2 fingers down his throat and started vomiting on an off-duty police officer and his 11-year-old daughter. Well, you're kind of burying the lead. It sounds like the vomit was trained on the police officer.
And that's just, that's just good. That's just a good habit to get into. Yeah, you can uncop. I assumed when I closed this door that it's going to cause something to happen, but it just seemed to lock it.
The time Chris Baker received the cheesesteak he never ordered. In September 2014's showdown with the Eagles, Chris Baker was ejected for a hit on Nick Foles during an interception return. Some thought it was clean, while others thought it warranted disqualification. Nevertheless, the refs tossed the lineman on his way off the field. Some supporters in green decided to toss a cheesesteak at him too. Okay, the time they threw snowballs at Santa Claus.
Well, that's thematic.
Yeah. Okay, so this is 1968. I think that's actually supposed to be 1986. Near the end of a disastrous campaign by the Act 2. The Hunt.
I'm still this is the. I've just been screwed. Yeah, it's just I can't get this thing to work the way it's meant to. I'm sure it's meant to follow me, and then it was meant to do something, but maybe I locked the door too early the first time.
Maybe you have to bonk its head against the cabinet.
Okay. This is what I was waiting for last time, was it to do something at the door. It just didn't. I was just stood here for ages waiting for something to happen.
Okay, so the St. Claus supposed to participate didn't show due to a snowstorm, so a backup St. Nick was selected from the crowd.
Oh, that's...
Oh, poor guy. Again, I think he was very drunk. That has always been my telling of the tale. Lonnie Smith tackling the Philly fanatic. In a weird twist of fate, I've actually... I used to go to the XFL football games with my brother, because my brother would buy season tickets because they were nothing. They were $200 a season or something.
Right.
And they were kind of fun to go to. It's extremely goofy, indoor football on a half-sized court. where everybody is just meant to like hurt each other very badly. Like all the plays are engineered, so it's like.
Don't worry, I've seen The Sixth Man. I know, or the Sixth Day. Sorry, I know what the XFL is.
Right, no doubt. So my brother would have everybody dress up in suits because the mascot for the Philadelphia team was the Soul Man. So we would wear like black suit and tie. And one time we were going to a Phillies game after, and like the assistant to the Philly Fanatic came and was like, "The Fanatic really likes what you guys are putting down. You want to come out on the field during the 7th inning stretch and dance?" And we were like, okay. And so I actually like ended up on the Sports Center like opening montage. I probably still have the video somewhere. I think I've tried to put it up on YouTube and it like just immediately gets content flagged. So it's like hard to share, and it's like also super low res. Like you would have to have a certain amount of trust in me as a person to believe that it was me, but there is like a 3-second clip of me dancing on whatever the Phillies field is in like 2005 or something.
Tragedy strikes at the
I've nothing is interesting when it comes to sports. I was never a kid who like. I think the only like sports thing I tell people about is like, so I went to the secondary school I went to, which is the Irish education system. You know, like primary school is anything up to like you're age 12, and then after that you're in secondary school. That's how you do all your exams and stuff. But the one I went to is it is like one of the few Church of Ireland, in other words, Protestant ethos churches or schools in the city, which meant they didn't play. They did not have Gaelic sports teams, so they didn't play hurling or Gaelic football. So what instead they played was hockey. This is also a co-ed school, so they like to make such a big deal about the fact that the boys team, the boys hockey team, would perpetually like
what's done is done.
Like come in the top ranks of like the all the sport like whatever sport like hockey competition was in the region, in the province. Never having mentioned that there was like maybe 7 teams in the entire province that actually played hockey. Or 7 schools that played hockey kind of like in that, you know, that school professional way. Meanwhile, the girls' team was actually rather good, but never got as much support because they were, you know, they weren't hitting, you know, they weren't coming in the top 3 because there was actually more teams playing hockey. That's always what I think of when I think of hockey. Or when I think of school sports, it's like, yeah, that usual sort of, what is going on here? What is this fucking Metropolis bullshit? Buddy, what are you doing? But yeah, I just never got involved with all that, so. Oh, I know, though actually someone I was in school with became like a professional trampolinist.
Sure.
For at least a brief time. I remember that. That was interesting. I think that's kind of falls into the same kind of category as like gymnastics and stuff. Never actually saw them do the whole thing, but from what I understood, they're actually rather good at it. Okay, so that's moving. Okay, so it's inner and outer rings.
Maybe turning that thing, changes what. Wow, you solved it.
Hey, at least that was a puzzle. I don't remember anything nearly puzzle-like that in the first one of these.
Sure, I guess, they're growing. And they haven't knocked you all the way down into the basement yet, which was Observer's trick. Like, I swear to God, the amount of times a guy came up behind you in that game and pushed you into the basement.
Another takes their place.
It's pretty much all I remember about it.
Machine goes on.
0 out of 8.
Am I just adding stuff up at this point? Is that what it wants me to do?
How are you supposed to see the number to like assess what is happening?
Yeah, it just wants me. Yeah, it literally just wants me to add stuff. Yeah.
So wait, is it you stop and it gives you that number?
Oh, I see. And I need to like do it without going over. What did I have? I have 14. So let's go 9 and 5. Okay. So it's you can't use the same number twice. So let's have a look here now.
Ooh, 24 and 70. Your hardest challenge yet.
Let's just stop adding the large one together. 4.
Jay believes this should be a prequel. Maybe just the vibe it's given off.
Let's just start adding to make it even, and then we just have to add 6 and 4 and 2 and 8, and we'll be done.
Just
And
again, there are zero layers of fear.
yeah, it's like.
Oh, look at this handsome man!
Marches on.
Oh, there he is. I finally recognize Tony Todd.
Oh, is that his? Oh, okay. I did not recognize that as his voice at all. To be honest. Is that it? Let's go.
There may be another puzzle?
Maybe.
Or did it open that door?
There was something back here with like a lock on it, but maybe that's gone. Maybe that's something, an optional thing or something that I missed.
I wouldn't go. Hello. We're all commuting. Vaguely undulating mannequin bodies.
I can't stand back up. Oh, okay. I must be like caught on something there because I can't stand back up by hitting like the crouch button. I actually have to like hit the sprint button and then I stand up again. Guess no one was expecting people to be like trying to like stare at mannequin crouches. Alright.
No man is an island, but one can become a vessel to carry within a flame of another.
Is that him that's narrating that? I can't,
Yep.
I just, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I recognize his voice well enough.
Yeah, I think maybe...
I don't feel like it's coming through that well or that frequently.
Feeds the soul.
Okay, that sounds
Bright.
more like him now. Okay, that's I'm hearing
The
it.
stolen flame burns strong, burns quick.
Yeah, I guess so.
Stolen flame burns out.
Because there was a perfectly like mediocre horror film I watched a little while ago about like a haunted like Halloween park thing, like ghost tour, like, you know, one of the, you know, I can't even think what the proper term is for it, but like and he was in it in a minor role, but when he turned up I was like, oh great, that's Tony Todd, I love his voice.
I'm sure I haven't seen that. Now I'm
trying to remember the name
curious.
of it.
Hello.
It was like, it was called, it had some very it was like called something like Terror World or something like that. Yeah, named after whatever haunted park or...
There are a lot of like very, very bad haunted house movies that
This
are
is,
like
yeah,
in
this,
the barely a movie genre.
yeah, this is more like the, like, it's kind of definitely an amusement. Like, it was actually, like, bits of it were good. I found, like, actually some of the kills and stuff pretty good. The actual bit with Tony Todd in it as well, and the kill that followed it were actually pretty decent, and at least a little bit inventive.
Was it called Hellfest?
That's the one, Hellfest. Yes. No.
I have seen. Oh yeah, Jay also said Hellfest.
Yeah.
I have seen so many just like awful found footage horror movies. There's one just called like Hell House LLC. There's like 30 of them.
Yeah, I've watched them. God, they like that first one was like, okay, you've got an idea. It's not great, but you've got something going on. And then by the end, it's like, this is, oh God, this is shit.
It's just like, I don't know. I think I saw some like horror news or something that they were like making a Terrifier 2, and Terrifier is just literally like a guy in spooky clown makeup walks around like killing people, and there's barely any dialogue, and again, like just production quality is in the fucking toilet, like poorly mic'd, poorly written, barely written at all, I'm guessing. Like probably mostly ad-libbed.
I'm trying to think the name. There was one which was like, it was like set in, like it was people, it was like ghost hunters going to look in like an abandoned hospital or something. And then of course it turns out that, you know, they've set it up, you know, they don't believe there's actually ghosts, but it turns out the ghosts believe in them anyway, sort of one. And I remember watching that going like, some of this is okay, but it's fine. And then there was a sequel which was absolute crap.
Right.
But I can't remember the name of that one. It had some like, again, kind of like, it was like ghost hunters or something, not like that, but you know, one of those sort of names, I think. I can't remember now.
Grave Encounters, says Jay.
That's yes. God, yeah. Jay knows all. Obviously, Jay has been down the same like.
No
kind
doubt.
of okay, but really not very good at all. Horror movie hole I've been in at points. There was a couple of okay Irish horror movies relatively recently. God, what was the one that I actually? There's one I quite liked, and then there was one that was like fine, but I'm blanking on the names of them now. And then there was one with what's his face? Not Mark Zuckerberg, the guy who plays him in the movie.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg, yes. There was one with him and someone else. Again, it was an Irish produced movie. Was that called? Oh gosh, what was that? It was kind of a bit more like sci-fi.
Vivarium? Was that
Vivarium?
Irish?
That was us. Yes, it's Irish produced. Yeah,
for being a reasonably low budget movie, that was pretty good.
I thought that was actually half decent. It was funny. It was just funny because the way I always know something is Irish is I see the license plates on cars and go, "That's an Irish license plate."
Oh, really?
So that's always how I know, because we have a very distinct way of like.
Noticed.
Yeah, we just have a very distinct way of like license plates. So it's just funny because I remember that was the one thing that whatever the name of the film that I was saying was kind of good, but I can't remember the name of it was. There was one like plot hole in that because of the date, and it was like, oh, this car license plate does not line up with the period in which you say this film takes place by like 6 months. So I know that in fact this is, said, or no, it wasn't a plot hole. It was like, no. Okay, no, that was what it was. There was a whole thing about, there was a particular, like, it's kind of one of these, oh, I ran straight into that ghost. It looks like,
is this actually meant to be a murder? Oh, I guess so.
No, so it's one of these things that basically, like, you can bring someone back from the dead, but you have to let them go after 3 days or something like that, that sort of like thing. But one of the rules, as I said, is that they can't have been dead for more than a year. And when their when they, this deal goes through, I like go, but wait, I know this has been more than a year, because in the flashback, this car had this particular license plate on it, which meant that it took place in 2009, but this must have but for what they're saying, it needed to have happened in 2010 and blah blah. And I was like, no, that's
liars.
Actually, well, yeah, it was like, oh no, this is like if you speak Finnish, the beginning of the thing tells you the spoiler, that sort of way. It's like, oh no, if you know how Irish license Irish license plates work, a little spoiler about that movie. There we go. Okay, wait, okay, no, back over where the ghost was, I suppose. But yeah, I've definitely done that. I've like sat there and like watched what's a moderately passable looking horror film.
Yeah. Fortunately, it fills a lot of my time.
I mean, that used to be when I just couldn't sleep. I'd put ones on before I just started like watching them all, like Twitch streams and stuff, and just having them on as background noise instead.
Yeah.
Because I feel like at least then, you might just be a name, or you might just be like another number on the viewer count. But like, I feel like there's people who like the fact that there's 3 people watching a small stream, or like 8 rather than just the like, 1 or 2 or whatever. Sometimes it's like, whatever, I'll leave this on, even if I fall asleep. Watch it probably.
Yeah, you're still doing them a very slight favor.
And then sometimes I wake up and find like, oh, there was like several raids in this time because I've been asleep for 6 hours, and now
you're like, yeah, who the fuck knows where?
And like that's how I kept. There was about a span of a month where I kept getting like gift subs for like channels I'd never heard of, and it just so happened because I've been raided into like into other channels through like I'd started watching like SAS or Vice City or something, and then like when I wake up in the morning, it's like I'm watching someone I don't recognize, and I've got 3 gift subs for like channels I've never heard of.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Now we're definitely on a boat. You're just going straight to full. You're like,
of course, full ahead. No other option.
Let's hit that goddamn iceberg.
That's the way to do it. Full ahead, never look back. Oh, is that Nix you watch, Jay? Because I watch her as well. I think she might have been the one who was originally kind of given some like decent review of like Hell House, and I went, no, that sounds alright, and I absolutely disagreed with her take on it, but you know what?
Oh, really?
That's why.
I've definitely heard of them.
Yeah, Nick Spheres is her name, or is her channel.
Cool.
Hush now.
I guess
Stay behind me.
I don't tend to watch very much YouTubes or
Yeah,
like anything like that. I'm like, hi,
oh.
It's our little man.
He was suddenly behind me. That was
The spirit of your dead baby.
who clunked their head on the dresser.
Yep, you weren't watching them strictly enough, and they bonked their head on the dresser and died. Now they're coming back, doesn't want you. I feel like of any YouTube thing I would watch, horror movie reviews sounds up my speed. Have I talked about there's like a Nicolas Cage Five Nights at Freddy's movie?
Yes. Well, you haven't talked about it, but I know about that movie.
It's pretty fucking good.
Oh, did you watch? Oh, okay.
It's like a Nicolas Cage movie, and it's like as good as a fairly bad Nicolas Cage movie. Or like,
excellent.
Okay, there are very bad Nicolas Cage movies.
Yes.
It's like probably at the top tier of like nothing about this really feels like a real movie, quote unquote, to me, but it's like a pretty fun way to spend 90 minutes. And Nicolas Cage, I think it's one of those ones where like Nicolas Cage just had the idea himself, or maybe he had the idea that I think the story goes that he had the idea to be a silent protagonist because he watched Drive and just wanted to do that. So he's like basically like stoic. I think he does talk like a tiny amount, but has like maybe 10 or 15 lines the entire time.
Oh, that's
and also
great.
like instead of like for all its flaws a kind of like art house movie like Drive. It is a slasher flick where Nicolas Cage beats up full-sized animatronics.
I need to give that a watch.
It's pretty good.
There's also that one, I don't know if it's out yet, the one where it's Nicolas Cage versus every other incarnation of Nicolas Cage. Or something like that. I don't think
I've heard of that, unless that's the Japanese one that just came out.
That might be the one, because I know the reason I know of it is because of hearing like Alex Navarro talk about it. You know, he's because I know there was 3 Nicolas Cage movies out this year, and he's talking about it. Prisoners of Ghost Island, that's the one. Yes.
Yeah, I tried
also,
to like.
I was going to say, I think your baby theory is right, because when I scroll these to like the extremes. It turns into the ghost face.
4 legs in the morning, 4 legs in the evening, and 4 legs at night.
But it also turns into the ghost. So I think you're right about it's the baby that clonked its head.
I have no grasp on the plot of this game. It's just how these things work.
these games barely have plot. I mean, Layers of Fear 1 tried to, and it failed.
Why? It's a little more like, why are they so obsessed with giving that baby a badonk? Like, I feel like once you like, it's like 7/8 of the way down that thing, the baby just has this giant butt. Hi!
No, it's not doing anything. No. I think that's the plot of that movie, Jay. I think that's that one. There again, I might be misremembering. I might be confusing which Nicolas Cage movie, because like there's been so many this year.
Yeah, I'm a so that's by like the director of Suicide Club, who is like a kind of cool Japanese, fairly indie director. So I actually like really fucking want to see that movie. I made a post on Lex for it. It's like my first Lex post in ages. Nobody took me up on it. I was just like, let's go see the Nicolas
I'm mistaken.
Exploding Head movie.
Prisoners of Ghost Island is the one where it's Escape from LA, but it's ghosts.
Yeah, he's got the exploding collar.
I was misremembering. That's the other Nicolas Cage movie that came out this year.
Well, there's also Pig that I still haven't seen and really
that came out last year. Yes, I do want to the truffle one. Gosh, there's been like, again, mostly from hearing like Alex Navarro talk about them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Leave it, Mr. Hardy. We're not that desperate to eat rats yet.
Right, Tony Todd. Which way do we go though? Oh, door open.
You just had to pick up the rat to open the door. Who was on a pressure plate? How many rats are worth the weight of your soul?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That is one gigantic rat. It's a hyper-dense rat. Quantum rat.
It's the neutron rat.
We've compressed fully the weight of 8 rats into this rat.
Truly, science has gone too far.
Which will you choose?
Oh, am I going to shoot something again? I'm not going to shoot the dog. Wait.
Take it or give up.
Wait.
Take it?
I think I gave up. I'm not sure, but I'm not entirely sure.
I think you did as well, because I think taking instinct would have been the not giving up. But those control... Nope? Okay. Tip the scales.
He doesn't want me to... He does not want me to give up, Itsy. But I'm gonna let the... I'm leaving the dog. Let the dog have its bone. I don't care.
Get the dog by its tail. Is there like something else you have to do in the room, or are you stuck?
I think it wants me to pick the other option, but I'm just gonna go... Sorry, Tony Todd, I'm not listening. There we go. Yeah, I got an achievement called Show Restraint for not taking the bone from a dog. I don't know. Doesn't seem like a smart idea anyway.
not mutating into a cool half dog, half man, half mother.
You didn't take it. You'll starve.
I guess it's probably too advanced for this game studio that you might be playing a mother.
You gave up.
This is probably a dad game.
Yeah, they tend to be.
The new Amnesia was about moms, and
Yeah,
it kind of sucked.
Yeah, it was incredibly about.
Everyone saw this boy.
God. Yeah, whatever, kids. I wasn't going to listen to you talk about your dead rat story. Right.
But that's the only story they have. They're a child. They haven't had enough time to build up material yet. Oh shit! The blue corner.
They're an early Hollywood orphan. That's all the stories they've got about drowned rats.
Yep.
And people whipping whiskey bottles at their heads.
Yep, and climbing up chimneys.
The Black Wanderer. The Slayer of...
Ah, look at that chat. Alice.
There you go. Surely nothing bad will happen when I touch this. Oh no! It's
Booty
fish!
baby's coming. It wasn't treasure at all. It was the treasure of the sea. Oro del Mare.
Fish. Who filled this cruise liner with fish? Did the director order this? Full ahead. Never look back.
Wait. It'd be fun if they like gave you a note to that regard.
It's like it would be funny if that's the only there's multiple
He
endings. So
left
that's all
all
that.
the food to rot.
Yeah. I'm just imagining if there was that was the only if that was the only option. You know, it was like
Yeah.
oh, like here's what determines the story is did you go full ahead or not?
Yeah. Are you a cautious boat captain? Or do you just say, damn the torpedoes? There's more rats.
Listen, the boat is made of metal. Those things are just ice. Are you gonna tell me that ice can beat metal? No.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Haven't you played Pokemon?
Exactly. I don't know. Steel beats ice. Oh, I died apparently.
That looked like a graphical glitch.
It really did. That. Oh, did I?
Oh man, my favorite part about walking sim horror games is just dying over and over again due to the lack of like effective gameplay prompts. Maybe it's just timing.
Yeah, I ran
you
back
go between
because
the.
running back seems to make sense, but apparently that was the wrong way to go. I should have just ran this. I should have gone down this hallway, which wasn't visible 2 minutes before or a minute before.
Yeah, super reinforced box there.
Yeah.
Weather the flames, no problem. All those other boxes got flung across the hall. But that one was a keeper. The desaturation in this game is too much. Like, we are playing a black and white game, and it's not clear to me the reason.
Well, it's because it's like there's a cinema theme to it.
Of course.
Yes.
You solved it.
I mean, it's understandable that you'd forget because there's very little to grasp onto here, theme and tone wise. Which way am I going then?
Oh, hold up. I gotta.
Yeah.
Sorry, had to answer the phone.
Yeah, I want that.
Like fielding prospective roommates.
Oh, hello.
It's my
Remember,
job as the unemployed housemate.
I was it looks like I was right to reference
the Metropolis thing
Yeah.
earlier, because now it's just there.
Yeah. No subtlety
Heart
whatsoever.
of the city. It beats no more. We failed them.
I watched that when they when that remastered version of it was released, like probably a decade ago now. And actually, we'll say that was I think the first time I'd seen a one of those modern like restorations of like old films, and that was maybe one of the most impressive things I'd seen at the time. Was
really?
just it was so clear because they had recovered some like some reels which have been like completely water damaged, and you're looking at they were showing the original side by side, and it's almost, it looked like nothing had happened to them. It looked like they were pristine. It was amazing.
I don't know. I definitely watched the real Metropolis around when Metropolis the anime came out, and it was like my brain is not formatted to accept this condition of filmmaking. So I bet I would have like better luck with a nicely restored copy.
I mean, I just kind of like I think I was also a time a friend of mine had like a bunch of you know, kind of older, you know, old black and white and silent era movies. So I was borrowing them and watching a bunch of them, like the Cabinet of Dr. Caligari and some other Fritz Lang stuff. So I was just kind of in the mood to watch it. But I think that was the first, like, here is a really old film and here is its restoration of it, and it was just such a like, even I think even Nosferatu had that done to it at one point as well.
Yeah,
I did watch that one.
I just watched Mad's Jen in Uniform over the weekend, and like I don't know if there's ever been a restoration of that. I know since it was like banned for a really long time, that probably makes things tough. The Killing Joke. Excuse you?
It's me.
Is the joke there's no walkway?
I don't know, maybe.
Step into the light.
Is it just like
you just have to brave it.
It's just like Indiana Jones. Also, I feel like Sass has been very light on the farting today. Everyone else has been meowing, but I think Sass like farted once at the beginning and maybe once a little while ago.
Well, they're putting the meows in to keep the rats away.
Yeah, but normally she's used up all her farts by now, I feel.
Nope, that's just the door. You need to find the plug. What needs a plug? Within a 6-foot radius of where you are. Is it that thing on the floor? Unless you can walk out that window. No, I guess I thought that was like a little thing full of cables, but I guess it's just trash floor.
Oh wait,
honestly, almost nothing about this so far suggests a boat game to me. I feel like this is going to start an unfortunate precedent, or it is creating an unfortunate precedent about what defines a boat game.
I mean, technically one of our boats was Dinosaur Island, so maybe we...
Yeah, fair. It has already been reached.
Yeah.
You do get to do full steam ahead in this game, so fair's fair.
But yeah, there's a lot of boat imagery. Have a look. So pull it out of this socket. So similar, like it looked. No, can't pull anything out of there. Oh, hold on. Okay. Oh, there we go.
Of course, pull back the curtain, Owen, and electrocute that mannequin.
You did it, Mr. Hardy. Now go.
Black Wanderer and the Secret of the Flame.
Let that go past. And this way.
I think I can crawl under that flame. Uh-oh. Okay, good. Way to detect the hallway in pitch black conditions. Oh, hello, Mr. Face Mask from Fatal Frame 1. You're gonna need 4 of those.
I was going to say the masks. I thought it was the death masks from Resident Evil Remake.
Oh yeah, also.
I've just been watching the playthroughs that they did at Waypoint of the remake. It was Rob was doing. He'd never played. I don't think he'd played any Resident Evil before, and then Patrick was kind of guiding him through it at points. But it was just very funny, like the suppositions they were making about what stuff was, and even like Patrick had not played the game in like 20 odd years or whenever that first came out, you know, so no real memory of stuff. So he was constantly like trying his best, but actually giving bad advice.
That like, sounds pretty much like Patrick in a nutshell, honestly.
But, like really like going like, oh, I'm going to, you know, oh yeah, no, this is probably about this, or you know, no, you don't need to carry the crank anymore. You're fine without it. And like 5 minutes later, oh, you need the crank.
Oh
you know,
yeah,
sort of stuff.
Come on, Patrick. The game is like legendarily for making you need the crank. It was the first crank game, and they sure as shit wanted you to remember that you had a crank. I feel like the original was worse. But like definitely, I mean, that's part of the fun of the game, is getting all the way to that end of the hallway with the boulder in it and being like, you're for real, I need a fucking crank.
Yep.
I have to go back like through a whole area to retrieve it.
I've not finished watching all the stuff yet, but like there is a and I'm not entirely sure if he's being sincere or not, because it's hard to tell with Zachney, but he is perpetually suspicious of Barry. In like to like a comical degree, to the extent, but because he's very deadpan, it's very hard for me to tell. Is he playing this up? Does he know that Wesker is the one behind it, and he knows that Barry's just like the rube? Or
in fairness, Barry is Wesker's toady.
Yeah, it's just like
so
I think
up on something.
The last bit I was watching where they meet, as they refer to him, Enrico Stars, before he gets shot.
Yeah.
And it's just I must finish that off. It was also like it's also like they spent quite a while playing that game, because I think they streamed it for like about an hour and 45 to 2 hours over like the span of like a couple of weeks, and it runs for like, I want to say there's like 7 or 8 like streams of it. No, it doesn't help as well that they were doing a whole thing where because this was, I think, the first thing they streamed when they did the new like Waypoint Plus stuff. So they had like a wheel that you'd spin when they got subscribers. So occasionally like Rob would not be allowed to save, or Patrick would take over by using the PS4 remote play stuff and things like that. That was adding time to it.
Fun as hell.
The first,
if I had the patience to like sit down and think of those things, that's right up my alley.
Because it's funny, because that's the other nice thing about watching it over a series of episodes, was like the first one of those they did was very like kind of like rushed. Well, not rushed, but like they didn't quite have stuff in mind. And then by like the third time they're streaming it, they've got a wheel that spins every 10 minutes or every time there's subscribers and stuff, which was pretty good. But it's just a funny.
This is maybe the least fun game I've ever seen played.
I'm glad you were here, so I can talk about literally anything else.
This is horrible.
This is so fucking
dumb. What they
dull.
want you to do in this game is so boring. Like, even by this admittedly extremely boring genre standards, like the walking sim horror game is usually pretty dull, but I think this is the dullest one I've ever seen.
Like, it is a genre that has notable exceptions, but they are notable because they are exceptions, you know. Like, you know, Soma works well, but that's mostly because you've got good voice acting and a pretty decent and well thought out story.
Impeccably written.
Yeah.
There's like a certain tactile element, and it's also like set in the real world. So, or like it's set in a reality, so you're not just kind of like being endlessly shuttled through different sets that have no real context to one another, or like not enough context for you to actually like sit in for a while. Oh, sure. I mean, Gone Home is like barely a horror game. I'm like specifically, though it kind of is in a way that's like fun.
Yeah.
It's like a little scary because it's like about gay teens. So I'm like, I don't know if I need this kind of horror in my life, but like, you know, if
it's just, you know, teenagers are scary in general.
Yeah, no, it's just more like, oh god, like this is so ominous. Like one or both of these teens is definitely fucking dead. Is like a lot of the feelings I had through playing that game the first time.
No, it's yeah, like I mean, like that, and again, I suppose the exception there is that is a game with a story, and it's really good, and it's good, and it's told well.
Like this is so obscure. I don't know. I specifically was talking about horror walking sims because this is kind of where the whole horror genre went for like a while.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it's entirely out of that tailspin, and they've kind of only gotten worse.
So again, and this is before we started streaming. So, but I was talking to Zoe as I realized that a game I'd seen referenced I owned, which was I can't even remember the name of it now. I know I sent it down to you earlier.
Forgotten.
Yeah.
Oh, look, color.
Seasoned by
brain.
sadness, burnt from within.
Yeah,
go by madness.
But yeah, so that we were looking at one and going like, okay, well this is probably another one of these games, so I'm going to leave it until I'm going to put it at the end of the list because this is probably enough for now.
Yeah, you need a clean break from this, like every once in a while. Gratz eventually was just like, I don't want to stream games like that anymore. And I was like, I understand.
Hollowed by longing.
It's just like it's a personal, like,
has lost
idiosyncrasy of mine, or it just like bothers me slightly more than probably other people, just because survival horror is such a favorite genre of mine that like to watch video games slowly be like, oh, you don't need mechanics. You can just put people down hallways and vaguely scare them once in a while.
And watch babies bump their heads.
Sometimes you do get a Soma. Most games are not Soma.
Yeah, I mean, like, give me Blue Stinger, please. It's kind of the way, you know.
Yeah, it's
which
just
I
like
never thought I'd say.
Like any kind of crunch.
Look at it shake.
I mean, at least this game had a couple of puzzles in it, which I will say was what I realized at the end of like Evil Within 2 was maybe my biggest problem with that game. Was like I solved one puzzle that I can remember in this game, and that was it. Which was like doing like a weird, like, you know, one of those, you know, the sort of dial puzzles I did earlier to let blood flow down like into an area, and that was it.
It's time to go.
And like it was, that was like, that's what I want out of a lot of these games. It's like, give me the horror, but also give me the, you know, let me solve puzzles. That's what I liked about Dishonored 2. I liked spending the time, you know, and again, admittedly, it wasn't much time, but I liked pulling out a pen and paper and going, okay, let me do this logic puzzle.
That's the thing that has been like slightly disappointing about Deathloop is even as limited as like Dishonored's walking simminess was, like Deathloop is kind of even less, or immersive simness.
Yeah, I feel like that's a different style of game, and also I think kind of like Dishonored is kind of in a lot of ways about taking your time with stuff. But like, yeah, Deathloop seems like a much more like action heavy.
You can definitely like play it like any other walking sim. You are pretty hard to kill, and like all of your guns are oriented towards murder, so I do not bother like that hard. But mostly like very few emails to read, like very few apartments to break into that aren't really crucial to anything. Just like move people's fridges around. That's
that actually reminded me. Did you see I think it was a tweet that I seen the other day, which was like my favorite Fallout New Vegas emails, or like
the ones about cheating on each other.
Yeah, it's just, and requesting like more elaborate and ridiculous
props.
That's good. Oh, that's really good.
Sexual. It's like it starts with like bring the accordion and the riding crop,
and at the end it's like bring that elephant waste basket. Yeah.
It was like the memorial elephant foot waste basket, which I thought at first was like a Chernobyl reference, but there probably was no Chernobyl in Fallout.
No, an elephant foot waste baskets are a thing in like a lot of like were a thing in like English culture, because you couldn't you know, if you shot an elephant while you're in the quote unquote colonies, you brought back the ivory, but of course you couldn't bring it back the entire carcass, so you cut the foot off and have it made into a wastebasket.
Yep, that sounds like things disgusting humans would do.
About the same time they were eating mummies as well. So, you know.
Oh yeah, like the powdered mummy dust tinctures and everything.
English people are disgusting. Never let them tell you otherwise. I have no fucking clue.
I'm like on the same wavelength. I feel like survival horror is the only genre that sort of like gives me those kind of resource management tasks in a way I can kind of like digest. Like it's kind of just enough overhead, and you don't have to be particularly good at video games, which is another part of why I prefer them and have preferred them less as they go to like first-person shooting. It's like having a game where you have to do ammo management, but you don't have to like aim every shot. It's a nice bonus for me.
Yeah, I was I tried doing the
hello, wiggle.
I told you to hide it.
Was it? Is it Inferno mode?
How could you let him take it?
Ori 3 remake.
All we have left of her.
And I was like, this is just.
You have to.
This is not fun. This is not like that. Got too much to like. You have to be aiming shots perfectly and not wasting a single bit of ammo. And that was even me like going, I'm just going to take my infinite rocket launcher and bring it through. And it's like, Mr. X will just like move. Like he will, like they speed him up in that to a ridiculous degree, because he looks like he's running at the wrong frame rate, you know.
Also, does he do that like sassy little dodge if you shoot him with a rocket? Okay, I couldn't remember if that was only like a Nemesis thing.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, not Mr. Nemesis is what I meant.
Of course, right. Yeah, I completely forgot you were talking about the
called game already. Yes, but I also called him Mr. X, so that's
well, I think canonically he's like an upgraded Mr. X guy. I think he is initially started as some kind of tyrant in that mold, and then they were like, hey, we got these extra worms to put in you.
Find it! Bring it back!
So, do you have to find the playing card that got flung across the room?
No, I mean, I found the playing card and gave it to that guy. Oh, maybe, actually, you know what? Maybe there's something in the... Actually, there's probably something in that last space that I was meant to pick up and bring back to this one. Then. Something in here probably to pick up. Here's where we start all the fucking pixel hunt. Is it this? It's probably that. Okay. Yeah, back. Alright, yeah. See you.
Find it! Bring it back!
There you go. Yeah.
Keep her close to your heart. Don't let her be forgotten.
Oh shit, tomorrow is Death Stranding Day.
Oh, the PS5 version.
I can't play it. Because my PS5 is in San Jose, but that's just as well. Or wait, it's like $10, right? It's very cheap.
It's the upgrade of it. I think it's something like that. Because I was going because there was the whole talk recently about like the first party upgrades because of that new Horizon game and everything. And Death Stranding was like, no, we'll do an upgrade. And it's like, I want to say like it's €7 or something here. So it's got that's actually that
rocks.
ridiculously cheap. For what I normally expect of those.
Something else just came out that people were excited about, or is coming out like tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow is the Kill Margaret Thatcher game.
Okay, aside from that, I think it was something a little more popular. Not that killing Margaret Thatcher shouldn't be on the top of everyone's to-do list.
I'll have to find the clip of the Scottish woman going, I'd drive a stake through her heart and put garlic around her just to make sure she's not back.
Maybe they just play that in the game.
That was pretty good, actually. It'd be on point as well that the developer is he is Scottish and he's history of Doom modding, so maybe he'd include that as well. Nope. Downstairs then. This door. Nope. This door. Yes. Hey, at least this section. You know what? At least this section is kind of more puzzle-y, which I'm a bit.
Yeah, you had to like put that thing on one of two different faces. Yeah. Could have been either one. Could have been the one on the wall. Could have been the one on the ceiling.
I think Father's been trying to fix his old camera.
Death Stranding director.
I died as it was played. Not to be, Owen. Panzer Dragoon remake, is that out tomorrow?
Wait, Panzer Dragoon 1?
Wasn't there already a Panzer Dragoon remake?
It probably was Diablo. I think I saw like a YouTube ad for that. I think PyroCat solved it. Even though I don't care about Diablo. And definitely would like probably not play a Diablo 2 remake unless somebody puts it in front of me at their house. Yeah. I played a bunch of Borderlands at a friend's and was like, oh, this is the power of like true nerd concentration, because she was like sanding assiduously like at every cutscene, like watching Claptrap talk to them, and I was like jumping everywhere on the map. Just like over and over and over again, like jumping on top of boxes, trying to see if I could get on the tallest house. Opening the treasure chest you find up there and then just leaving the shit there because who cares? It's like $7 fucking.
Yeah.
So I feel like I have a pretty similar experience with Diablo, though Diablo got really fun for me when they put it on consoles and they added a roll button. That like got me through some tough times. I remember I think 1 year Grotz was in Italy for like a really long stretch, and I was very at home by myself and very lonely, and I played through like all of Diablo 3 by myself. I think it's like the first time I've ever finished a Diablo game, certainly alone.
Yeah, I might have been tempted to try like Diablo 2 just to see if it wasn't for like everything involving Activision Blizzard at the moment.
I mean, I feel like those choices can be a bit arbitrary just because at that scale I tend to assume that like everybody is producing in some like criminal malfeasance cover-ups, but they are being very, very, very blatant about it. This is just like the repeat head scavenge tunnel of random heads.
Yeah, it's that bit in every survival horror game where where you just have to pick up heads repeatedly.
Yeah, you just have to go through amorphous flesh tunnel and pick up a head and walk back to the box to store your heads.
Yeah.
Are those meant to be like eels or something on the ground?
Maybe it's fish.
Maybe just fishies. I also just I remember Diablo 2 being like an incredibly unpleasant experience to play, and I feel like when they do those remakes, don't they keep things kind of the same? Like, what I remember about Diablo 2 is like having 700 skills and 3 hotkeys. So not being able to feel like I could effectively play my character.
I think it really depends, because like some of the stuff, like some of the remakes and stuff that came out of Activision even over the last couple of years, and that includes like, you know, the Tony Hawk game and you know, Crash Bandicoot and stuff. They've been good, and they've been pretty like, and they've been good, like both like good remakes, but also good quality of life improvements. So, yeah.
So again, Panzer Dragoon remake, is that like the first game?
Again, I was that was weird because I think there was already a Panzer Dragoon remake.
This land is a wonder to be sure.
Or maybe I'm misremembering.
Never get home.
That looks pretty much like the first game to me. Yeah,
I need to hold on. I need to look. Maybe I'm thinking of a different game. Hold on, I'm gonna Google this because I feel like I saw, because I think that feels like something I saw turn up on Steam and went, wait, is that really, you know, a Panzer Dragoon game?
I feel like Panzer Dragoon is like 45 minutes long. It's like a pretty short game.
Yeah, no, Panzer Dragoon remake on Steam came out in September last year. It's currently 75% off, so it's €5.24. Daryl Sarash already owns this game. So there you
Good
go.
for him. I mean, no shade to Panzer Dragoon 1. I'm just surprised it's not part of like a bundle with a bunch of remakes.
Who Megapixel? Who are they? Oh, there it is. It is the only game that's currently been released by the development team, or at least the only one that's Steam. Oh, it's the PS4. Okay, so the PS4 version came out this year.
Oh, okay.
Hey,
so,
look, it's you know what? It's got 360 reviews on Steam, and it's very positive. So you know what? People who maybe, you know, fans of the genre, etc., etc.
Never had a chance. It's just hard for me to imagine like $25 for Panzer Dragoon. Like, I get it. It's a cool game.
Well, you know, what did it cost when it originally came out?
Probably like 80.
Yeah, that's it,
No, I mean, I guess by Sega Saturn times, like, video game prices had dipped a lot, and it was probably like 50. I remember when.
Come on.
Was there Panzer Dragoon for the original Xbox as well, or am I?
Yeah, that's Panzer Dragoon Orta, which is like quite good.
Yes, because I feel like that's the one I remember hearing you and Joel talk about in the past.
Yeah, that one rocks. Like, it's also, you know, pretty slight as far as video games go. It's a little longer than what is basically an arcade experience, and is like medium hard and based around you having a limited number of continues.
I wonder what I was kind of. I think I was saying. I think I mentioned at one point I was like, I was just gonna ponder to myself. I wonder what it costs to get like a Sega Saturn these days. But I was looking up like because you know, after playing a few Dreamcast games, I was going, I wonder how much it is to get a Dreamcast at the moment. And I think I remember saying, I might have said this before. I was looking up the point where I got like a GBA a few years ago. I remember someone like selling. One of the people I think I bought it from was also selling like a Dreamcast, and they were like, you know, with a few games and selling it for like €50 or something. And now I go onto eBay or any of like the trading sites here, and it's all like €120 or more sort of things. They've definitely gone up in price.
Go on, pick it up. Pistol.
Got the gun. Oh.
All right, shoot that pirate mannequin.
Tables have turned, Quartermaster. Curse you and your mutinous puppets. I will not make this easy for you. If I am to meet my doom today, it will be by your hands, by your action.
All right, shoot this child.
No hesitation.
That's right. Don't hesitate.
I didn't hesitate. You know, I fired. Why are you still standing?
Yes.
Come on, kid. Bunk your head.
Show me you're strong, like me.
You gotta go for the head. You're just a very inaccurate pirate captain. Too much grog. I really want to punish this mutiny, but I'm so drunk. Or wait, I think you, given the context there, you were the mutineer? You good, Lily?
Lily!
Oh, we were just playing a game.
Lily, I thought you were gone.
That's because I was. Well, she is.
What?
Who I was a moment ago is no more. Now,
So
I
I
can
guess
become
this
someone
character is
else.
actually a little girl of some sort. Or was, at least in this kind of flashback area.
I assumed that was... I mean, maybe you're right. I just assumed some disembodied voice was talking. I don't have any reason for that. Slumpy the bosun.
He is a bit lazy. A lot lazy, actually. If he could sit around all day, he would. But there's always more pirating to be had. The captain says so. Alright.
That's
God.
right.
I can bootlicker. Leave Slumpy alone.
Slumpy's just performing a little time theft to make things even.
Watch. This is the best part. Come. We can't stay any longer.
Oh, there's actually something going. Oh, I didn't even notice. We're in a cinema. Alright. I do not like how that's always the loading point, and it looks so like it's just very obvious and kind of not.
Henceforth,
It just
I
looks very
shall be
bad. For everything else not having like
Baines,
obvious
the Black
loading,
Wanderer.
that's just very jarring.
Yeah.
Captain Baines, isn't it, girl?
There we go. Right, new door. Oh, there's a slide. Like a bit of a rocket or something. No. Just look for parts. You look like a part. Okay. Midas the helmsman, he loves gold above all else. He can smell that. He can smell it half a world away, so he always steers the ship towards treasure.
Hell
See?
yes!
Full ahead. Full ahead.
My man's got it. Full ahead. Moral choices. Midas, come through.
There's a bit. Where's this last piece? Oh, really? I'm missing. Must be missing one other piece, am I? Oh, I really wish I had the outsider vision stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, the light sources are real troublesome.
Yeah, again with the I actually mine is probably a little brighter than what you're seeing. I turned mine up. Like I actually looked in the I actually looked in the preview as I was setting the brightness rather than what I was seeing on my screen, so that so we weren't like God, why am I blanking? What's the name of the game we just played?
Good lord.
The one with Jessica.
I don't know. Carrier.
Carrier.
Of course.
That's something. You know, because there was points where I was looking back at like the video, going, "Huh, that's not showing up at all, and I know I could see that stuff, so yeah, I just went, well, I'm gonna, if I can check the
My brother,
visuals before we begin.
he was
My
always
brother.
there, following in my footsteps.
Steering?
Silent, smiling sadly,
Oh,
like a
I'm
warm
just
shadow.
avoiding.
Always
I'm
there,
avoiding asteroids.
but
Great.
never really
Good fun.
present.
Wonderful. Hey, well, you know what?
Avoiding
Gameplay.
extremely
When
slow
darkness
frame rate
settled us down,
asteroids. This is just like Dead
He'd
Space.
sneak out of the house. He'd look up into the night sky, watching the stars, but never really seeing them.
There was a
What
bunch
he
of clips in
really
the
saw was
Beachy Red channel in the Discord of someone
1,000
playing
souls on fire.
Dead Space,
eyes
but at a
would
very
light
high
up.
frame rate, and everything was breaking.
The
So like
stars
even
were
like
already there.
I
At
can't
that
think of her name, but
moment, I knew
the
he
villain,
had
you know,
it
the
in him.
character who turns out to be
make
the villain in the
1,000
first
hearts
one,
bleed.
and the very beginning of it when you're in the
1,000 heads
spaceship
turn.
and she's there, all her hair is just like
1,000
spiked
eyes
everywhere and flying into different
My
directions.
brother,
And a lot of stuff where just
silent
bodies are
dreamer,
like flying around ridiculously
dreaming
at a very
that a
high
day
frame
would
rate,
come
which I think
when we could
I
leave
might
it
actually,
all
if I'm
behind.
playing that again, I might try to break it that way
the
and see what
journey
you can
of
do
a
first.
lifetime. A light on the horizon.
Yeah.
A flame to call his own. Yes, he had it in him. To make 1,000 souls burn. Make them feel alive. Make them live forever. 1,000 lives. But
Wait, oh, look at the big
never
happy sun.
mind. Never mine. There we were, dreaming our souls away
Looks like,
into the night sky. When we could almost
what's his
reach
name?
out and take it, a cruel
Oh,
shade
I
eclipsed
know.
the sun. Our dream was gone. Something else took its place. Something
Oh.
vicious.
I
It's
get
the
that
moon
reference.
with that thing in it.
Yeah,
Know what I mean? From that movie.
that movie. Yeah.
It was there were only like 6 movies at the time, so they have a very limited palette to reference from. They kind of just got to pick the hits.
I was trying to remember the actual French name of it, but I can't. I just know it's the voyage to the moon.
No.
Yeah.
To show off my
Black Wonder
yeah.
Edging nap. Don't worry. One day we'll get to see
Oh, the
how
trips
it
in the moon.
ends.
Is it Le Mans? Le Mans? Is that moon in French?
You got me. La Lune.
Here's where it freezes again for a second while it loads in. Very ugly.
Cute. Yeah.
Okay.
Lily, what if something bad happens? What if I can't find you?
What if, bitch?
Listen to my voice. Hold it.
We're on a ship. It's every man for himself now. You're gonna have to learn how to survive. Eat rats, pump bilge.
If you can't find me, find T-Pain. He's the next person in charge of this boat. I think Jay was saying she heard someone blasting that song as she was going down the street the other day.
That was me. I never got over my Lonely Island phase.
Yeah.
There's like a
Wait,
lot of Lonely Island inflection, and I think you should leave.
Well, that's the director isn't it Yoma?
Really?
Yeah.
It's the same guy. I don't know any of their names. I
Yeah,
just know that there's like the Dangerous Nights song is a Lonely
yeah.
Island cut, I think.
But yeah, no, I think it's Yoma is the director of that. But like they did that, the movie. What was the movie they did? Was it Popstar? Or I'll Never Stop Poppin', which was actually very good. Which I thought was actually very good.
Oh, you got me. I feel like I vaguely remember what you're talking about. I have not seen it.
There's just a line, I keep telling you, 30 Seconds to Mars is the name of a band, not a scientific fact, which I think of every so often.
Does it, like, need water?
Oh, I feel there's probably something else I'm supposed to be clicking here. Maybe if I turn the fan off?
Yep. Turn the fan off. Plants don't need wind to grow. Everybody knows that.
Oh, hold on. Okay. What? It's opening. Maybe just one of the taps? Oh, that seems to be doing something.
I think you've got it.
Maybe? Yes, that's it.
You are overwatering your plant. Or your tentacle monster. Maybe a lobster?
No, do I turn
Now
off?
we have to kill it.
No. Okay. Oh, that was that was one of my favorite bits watching like that Waypoint Resident Evil playthrough was when Barry comes in to kill the plant with the flamethrower. I think what the fuck are you doing? Why are you here, Barry? Just
very suspicious that you're showing up on time with the flamethrower. I remember in the original game, it was like somewhat difficult to pin down exactly what caused him to come and save you. I'm sure like speedrunners figure it out. I just remember there being like a lot of odd conditions, and it's like a big deal because if you're Jill, you don't have to fight it at all because you have to kill it 2 times, and you can make the poison to kill it the first time, and then have Barry just deal with the rest, and you get to skip a whole bad boss. Is there any other switch besides the water?
yeah, there's the wind.
Okay, so that's the thing that puts the... Is that meant to be wind when all the...
Yeah, when all the stuff is buzzing past. So you put 2 of them on its ocean. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, there's a radio here as well. Let's turn that off. Oh, and that brings up the sun. So let's switch one of these off.
Not too much water.
Is it growing now?
Maybe a little wind.
Oh.
Oh, no, I think you got it.
Yep. Something happened.
Oh, and you've done it. You've solved it.
Yep. Nothing beats a puzzle that you beat through trial and error.
Yep.
Oh. We've moved on
Act
to
3.
a new act.
Bloody Roots. Wait,
we were in Act 3.
We've
Did
been
I
in
die?
Act 3 for a while. I don't think so, because that was a different title screen than it normally shows.
No, it's been different title screens every time. I think... Did I die? I think I might have died.
Oh.
Did I do the puzzle wrong and it killed me?
You can let the plant get too strong.
Maybe?
All doors are trapezoidal, as is customary on ships.
Alright. No, maybe I did do it right.
Yeah, you look like
Yeah, no, it didn't give me the continue option, so no, I suppose I must have...
Please.
Stay out of it, Lily.
Why can't you just leave us alone?
You filled the boy's head with nonsense.
Pyrocat redeemed hydrate.
You're the one who's useless. You cruel, one-eyed freak.
What did you call me?
Get away from him. You monster.
I know, it's the embodiment of our internal trauma.
Yeah, or external trauma. Just seems like you had an abusive dad. Or you are the abusive dad. Now you're dead.
Yep.
Bloody Roots.
Oh, it's like that bit in Resident Evil 5.
Which bit in Resident Evil 5?
Yeah, the bit where you've got the light is being directed at you.
Oh god, yes, you're right. It is actually very much like that. It's got dots and beams. With no third-person cover system, however. As flaky as Resident Evil 5 could be, at least it had that.
Yeah. Because I don't know, am I covered? No, I'm not covered.
Absolutely not, Owen. If you can see the flame at all, you're probably in trouble.
Does just have to run when he starts? Yep, probably. Oop. Oh.
I'm gonna say, can't see shit in this game. This is the most I have not been able to see shit.
Yeah, also I realized the path behind me blocked me off as I ran backwards, so maybe there's a thing ahead of me.
I mean, anything is possible. Just run into the fire.
Is it over here?
Sleep
like...
now in the fire.
Okay.
Like Rage Against the Machine said.
This thing that looks like every other alcove is the one I'm actually able to like step into.
Later, Zerg.
Oh, take care, Zerg. Enjoy your meeting. Wait, did it? Oh,
Thank you for the well wishes.
The audio just cut out when I stepped into there. That was great.
Oh.
That wasn't confusing at all.
Yeah, I definitely thought that was a bit of streaming malfeasance.
Well, that was the game for whatever reason.
Whoa, look at that orange fire.
Yeah, anytime I step into an alcove, it just goes silent.
I guess you could use the silence to...
Well, is it going to make me start over? Place your bets.
Probably.
No. Oh, okay. It's down here. No, that's something, I suppose. So let me step in here for a second. Also, like, that black and white thing, I'm sure is meant to be like me taking damage from it. But the fact that it does that even when I'm in the alcove feels very wrong.
Yeah.
Like it's screwing up somehow.
Troublesome video game semiotics.
Try even with that way. Something like this way. Okay.
Zap.
Oh, no.
It's taking its time. It's gonna be right around the corner when you come. Nope, I guess it already passed. But not by you.
Okay.
For most of that, you may as well have been walking through the dark on my screen.
Oh, really? Okay.
That's like, I don't know, I think that's pretty familiar. I feel like when I would stream like Outlast and games like that, I just had to use the camera the whole game, because that was the only way to make it visible for the stream. Was like just to look at everything through night vision.
Okay, because as I'm looking at I'm looking at the preview there. The preview looks alright, but again, I might just have like that monitor might just be bright enough that it looks okay, but I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder. It's like I can't see anything until you're standing right next to it, or it is illuminated by the holy light.
This way again. Yeah, the black and white coloration is definitely not helping. How long to beat? Says it's 5 hours. So I hope you're looking forward to. Oh, well.
2.5 more hours of this? It's like, how could they even fit it in?
I guess I didn't quite make it through.
Let's see if we can't beat the how long to beat.
Father, it's today.
Why not? to see her.
Okay.
Take care of the house while I'm gone.
Did you get anything for James? It's his day too.
I
Yeah.
had to buy something for your mother. That's all I could afford.
Another audio recording.
Please help me. It hurts.
Right,
Is it over?
No, Mr. Hardy.
Wait, did I get all the... Okay, this might be the end of this section because I didn't get a key this time.
Yay.
Breathe.
That's it. Yep, oh yeah, I'm back again. Oh, it's just... What does that word say?
Someday we're gonna get there. We're gonna solve the hangman's riddle and save ourselves this distasteful fate.
Tell me, James, do you like sitting here in the park?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I think I do.
Right,
Out here, I could be anyone.
Truly,
let's see what's outside the window.
anyone you want.
I think I don't need
Oh,
to
wait.
be.
Oh, wait.
I can play anyone I want.
What's that? Oh, well, saw something that got me an achievement, so... Yeah.
Congratulations. Do you feel that you have achieved?
I'm... Oh. Little doghouse. That's...
I'm like trying to Google to see if we can get a read on how far you were in this game. Unsurprisingly, not many walkthroughs exist.
Should you, is there anything that tells you how many chapters there are? Because this is the thing now. There are slots here for 4 reels. Now, I don't know if they've been there the entire time, and if they'll just add another spot as we go along, but this, I assume, being Act 4. I don't know how long it's going to
It
take.
says there's only 5 acts.
Okay. I mean, you never know. I mean, look,
Sure.
halfway through, after finishing the 3rd act, that first act was also very short.
There shall be a vast shout. And
Bring
then
back Tony Todd.
Yeah.
a vast
Who's this asshole?
silence.
And Tony Todd's not on screen. Everyone should be asking, where's Tony Todd?
I ask that in every movie, whether he's featured or not. Each act features its own set of collectibles, so if you return to the game's home base and realize some items are missing, it's easy to determine which chapter you should revisit.
Yep, I've noticed. I'm not going back. Can't make me.
This thing says the game will probably last you anywhere between 3 and 6 hours, so we might be on course for speedrun territory.
How long to beat is
I'm just saying.
Yeah, how long to beat is fairly good for, like, you know, generally you can look up the range of times.
Yeah.
You know, I do find, like, the thing is, the last couple of ones we've played, I've been, like, pretty much, like, average. So good, okay, it's probably good just to pick the average time and take that as a rough estimate. Like I said, if we finish early, I have other stuff there that we can click on for a bit, because I am going to go up until whatever time SAS starts, which is 1 a.m. my time, which is 8 p.m. Eastern, or 5 p.m. Pacific for even more boat related fun.
Yay!
Okay. So in that case, more themed after, more based around the Titanic.
Some people believe in nothing, and so they live for nothing. To live without belief is more terrible than dying.
Making laughs from tragedies, yes. We have fun here.
Lily, Captain, I found it. But it's empty. It's all gone.
Steady yourself, quartermaster.
Yeah, and that's how we had such fun at the at your 24-hour Sonic stream, Jay. Remember all the fun jokes about Warcrafts?
Go on. Be there for her.
You're gonna bonk your head, kid.
As she was for you.
Yeah, we're still waiting on a good bonk.
Yeah, that was 4 hours into the 24-hour stream, and it all went south. God.
Really?
Yeah, it went places way too early on it.
Yeah, I mean, look, the 24-hour stream doesn't know like that.
Yeah.
The exhaustion and delirium comes in peaks and valleys.
It was when that all started kicking off, and then when I posted the news that Barron Trump had contracted coronavirus, Jay popped off. Those are the two things I think of. Ooh, oh, we're sideways now. This doesn't feel. Oh, this does not feel good to control. I do not like this.
How did Demi do the stuff with the room, walking around the room? Do you think it was all practical effects, and he was rotating the room from the outside?
Yeah, it's a room on a rotor.
Wow, that sounds pretty fun.
Yeah, that's the. I mean, I want to say that's the same thing they use for like Inception and stuff like that. They're just the rooms that are on like a drum, basically, and they just spin. But yeah, that was pretty good. I was like, because I kind of, when he started humping the wall, I went, oh, I know where this is going.
Yeah. I feel like he says it's the last one every year. Am I wrong in that?
He definitely did last year, with the exception, like, oh, if we raise a bunch of money, then.
Okay. He didn't
character. Look, Zoe, that must be what it is. Character.
Jeez, that's been haunting me since, good 2 hours, 39 minutes. I've been wondering about that one.
Yeah. I think it was just last year and this year. He didn't give himself any like ouch this year, which makes me wonder if like he is just planning it to be done. Also, there was all the stuff with like the actual like the fact that it was actually the song this year and not one of his goofy versions of it, and then it was all the stuff with the remaining members of Earth, Wind and Fire. And
that was all very cute.
What's her name? Ali Wallace was the writer of the song, and she's the last. She's the person at the end. I think she died last year or the year before, so like I think that was maybe like, oh, maybe this is just going to be the last one.
Well, it's been a really good run.
It's good. I've enjoyed them all.
I'm sure that is like an exhausting process.
Oh, yeah.
Like having to constantly top yourself every year.
Yeah, because that's the thing of like every year it's like, oh, I wonder what I'll do next. It's like, oh, we actually managed to like do a bit more again.
Yeah, he does does always work very, very hard. I feel like I would quickly become complacent.
I like just good good goofy ideas for like visual gags and all that sort of stuff.
I mean, I think I definitely would be pretty happy with just like some amount of silly stuff, and it wouldn't have to be like, oh, we're like blowing your mind, or we're going like leading so heavily onto like the surprise, it's something else.
I mean, like even just like I think last year's one where it just like has the the bit where you're like you're looking in the room and it's like, oh, okay, he's gonna hop out of the bed. It's like, nope, I just painted this hoodie to look like the wallpaper and I stood against it.
Yeah, that was very fun too. Last year was the one where it was like all the room was like in a shipping container or something, right?
Yeah. And like the plane goes past at the right time and the car drives past with September 21st. Like there's a lot of effort.
Yeah. Oh my God, you're being dragged backwards like in the Max Payne movie. Perhaps a spirit has found you.
Oh, I was trying to remember what did this recently where I was flying through doors and went, oh, Evil Within, of course.
I have not seen the Super Bass video.
Oh, that's good. Yes, the Nicki Minaj karaoke one is good.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, fun.
Based on recent Nicki Minaj related controversy.
Right, giant testicles and all.
Like it's funny as well because I have friends who like I've shown the like September 21st stuff and they go, oh that's good, and then I've shown them like his movie credit songs and they've got, oh, these are great, like, and that's what's clicked with them. Which I feel like probably have much more, like, probably are more, like a generally approachable comedy. But I also appreciate that. Yeah, he's stuff for everyone. Internet weirdos and normies alike.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, welcome back, Candyman. I think if I believe any one horror movie myth, it's Candyman. I tend to limit myself to one, like vague, but staunchly held superstition per topic.
Would you please stop switching on the TV? Oh. Rude. We're trying to talk here. Right, you done? Stop that. Stop that. Stop. No.
No.
See, you broke. See what happens? See what happened? You broke it. God. Ugh.
And you know what the television costs right now? I'm not even sure they exist.
This is a prototype. You've changed history itself.
Yeah. Consumer televisions will never exist, possibly for the better.
Why am I always
Let's all go to movie theaters and smoke in them like Hayao Miyazaki waxes nostalgic about.
Why didn't you protect me?
Fruits just keep exploding.
You just have to like throw a tantrum in this room per line of dialogue. That was a fart noise. Again, I literally cannot tell what you are clicking on.
It's the Buff Boys competition.
Yay!
Yeah.
It's not going to be Troll Boy.
You understand, it's not going to be.
You understand. I always feel so bad for Troll Boy. Fuck this apple.
Actually, that was one of the funniest things when you and Joe were talking about. I think you should leave on in Discord, and you both mentioned like the baby sketch. And I was going like, right, which one of like the 6 baby sketches are they talking about?
Oh, I mean, for me, it's like I actually don't like the baby plane sketch very much. I think that's one of my like least liked on the thing, just because I feel like there's no repeatability to it. I guess it's one of those ones where I'm like, I kind of already know the joke, and none of the actual lines are all that funny to me.
Yeah.
Whereas the I used to be a piece of shit. It's infinitely rewatchable.
They'll tell you they won't serve you a sloppy steak, but they can't stop you ordering a steak and a glass of water.
I think people, instead of referencing, like when people come up or when the piece of shit sketch comes up, people will like kind of just go into like the sloppy steaks, pushback hair, white couch, live for New Year's Eve, and I'm just like the skit is just giving you the template, and they already show you how to refine the template with like chicken spaghetti and chicken weenies. So I just feel like people should like spend a little extra effort and like think of their own iteration of that, because I think it would just be reasonably funny no matter what you say, as long as you've got the vibe.
This is not the end.
Also, the like chicken spaghetti thing, like Grotz like is like that's spot on, because no Italian person would ever do that. It's actually kind of like a stealth joke. I don't know if they intended it that way, but like apparently chicken and spaghetti is like not something any Italian person would ever think to do.
No, but then, like I was saying, there was the baby. So when you said baby, and I was like, well, there's also the baby, like the cutest baby competition.
Oh yeah, that's like, I mean, that honestly is like, that's the last sketch of the first episode, I think. Or no, wait, I think the last sketch of the first episode is like the pooper seat.
Yes.
With, what's his name? The guy from The Walking Dead. I can't remember the actor's name, but I feel like that one like totally drew me in.
Yeah.
But also the baby of the year is just like so fucking dense with jokes, and like I don't think the father needed to do the oral.
But it's like it's the in memoriam. It's like in memoriams don't usually list how they die.
Yeah, get him out of here. It's
little Maggie May, 94, throat slit.
Yeah.
Pancakes by a dump truck.
Yeah, pancake my dump drunk driver is like really like as close to a thesis statement about the show. Like such a cellar door phrase. Like I would just think the words like pancake by drunk truck driver and become happier for like a few minutes. It's just like such a, but like, yeah, Sam Richardson's like just like basically like fourth wall breaking like guttural shouts throughout that sketch are like one of my favorite parts. It's like, get her out of here. It's just like, can it? This one's done. Coffin Flop, yeah. I mean, Coffin Flop, I think it's like one of the ones where I'm like, this is probably one of the ones I would show people just to like give them as quick an onboarding as possible. In the first season, it was the Tiny Toilets one.
Oh yeah.
That you're not a part of the Turbo Team. It's like one of my like favorite quotes of like, okay, are you gonna like get this show or not? Does the idea of being told you can't run because you're not part of the Turbo Team amuse you? Is the car pitch sketch just too? Which is the car pitch? Oh God, with the old dude, where he's just, that was so great because like now people can use that one as part of like a like it's just like a built Tesla response.
Oh, which one is this?
The one where it's like the old guy and he's just constantly like, we need a car where the steering wheel doesn't fly out of your hands while you're driving. I kind of like that era a little bit more. Like, I feel like the first season, you get a lot more of, like, the tone changes partway through the sketch, and everybody is, like, suddenly on the side of the crank.
Yeah. Like, again, the end of the first episode with the the poopy hands paper eating one.
Yeah, like the tenor shift of that is so good, where everybody's just suddenly on board, and it's like, we all know if I eat this receipt and don't get sick, we'll know that paper doesn't make you sick, and it was definitely shit.
But like just like the way they're like diving over the like the couch and everything.
Yeah,
oh yes,
don't let him touch that.
Yeah, sorry, the one where don't you know how to drive? No. Put your hands on the steering wheel. Fine, I will. Ah, it hurt.
Yeah.
The steering wheel hurt you? I don't know. How did it hurt you? I don't know. I don't know how to drive. Not everyone knows how to do everything.
That's how the whole bit. It's like, what if you're going to a job interview and I'm the employer? It's like, I'm not going to a job interview. You could be in a year from now.
Gosh, sorry, I walked through this door and immediately thought of color theory, if anyone is familiar with that.
Is that a video game or just
it's a Tumblr thing. There was a picture from like a children's hospital where they marked out the floor with paint, but it was red paint, and people were going, yeah, that's maybe not the best stuff for like a hospital. And then someone came along, well, actually, if you look at the way color theory works, then red is more associated with good things than bad. Okay. And all these people like all this one, so like you understand what we understand what you mean by color theory, but please tell us you recognize why maybe putting red paint on white walls in a hospital is not the it's a whole back and forth of that
because it hides the blood.
Yeah, but I think of now being like a red room.
It was on the floors too. No, Jesus, I'm looking it up now, and it is indeed like, y'all just really painted like blood spatters being dragged from room to room.
The best is the person who goes, okay, look, but maybe that's not a good choice, but what about something like yellow? And they were going, please tell me you understand why yellow streaks are on the ground.
Maybe just no streaks in hospital, but like, a nice blue, perhaps?
And, thank you for the key.
Forever the dream. Forever the wound.
Literally any other color would have been a better choice, guys. I'd like to point out that the color red has more positive than negative meanings. Willpower, warmth, energy, power, enthusiasm, leadership, strength, love.
That's the chart you're looking at. Yeah, that chart is hilarious because it's like I've seen stuff like that in fucking like at like I kind of like say in terms of like sales and marketing sort of bullshit. It's like but like it's that like commitment to like quote unquote academic theory makes it so funny.
Yeah, right. Like academic theory that they read on Wikipedia, like we all knew. Like, that's why I just don't talk about shit on the internet, because I'm like, I learned most of it from fucking social media, so I don't know what's true or not.
You can never have it.
Oh, I missed what he said. Besides that you can never have it, and I guess I'll just never know.
I don't think we missed anything. It's in the chest.
Lily, please come back. I need you.
Right.
I'm trying to think of how many times I've said the title. Oh shit, I almost said it. I feel like I'm on 4. I'm very timid. I'm very timid about any kind of repeat somebody's name thing, though. It's not just can't. No. Oh. It's the middle of the day, so I think I'm probably fine. But I don't like the Bloody Mary stuff.
That's a funny name. Can you
I'm
help
just
me find my sister?
very afraid of mirrors. I think most people call that body dysmorphia. Please, like a flashlight, anything. I'll just say bye bye man. That'll cancel it out.
Yeah. Bye bye man.
I think
like,
we've talked about Bye Bye
like,
Man. I'd like
we
watched
watched
to show up Bye Bye Man.
Yeah, we watched Bye Bye Man. That was fun. No, I'm
not
thinking
like a group.
Yeah, Jay organized it once on Discord, so we watched that. I'd seen it before.
Dude, that movie is unreal.
I love that movie.
It's kind of awesome.
It's so funny.
It sucks so bad. But
I'm just thinking. The problem is, I'm just thinking of a that Sadako versus
the Sadako versus Ju-on or whatever.
Ju-on, yeah, but it's Bye Bye Man versus Candyman.
Yeah,
or Bye Bye Man versus Bloody Mary.
I don't even know that Bye Bye Man has any specific powers or even like aesthetic choices. Like Candyman has bees and Hook.
Yeah.
I feel like Bye Bye Man was just like a guy with a knife. Didn't he just show up and slit people's throats?
I remember reading this at the time and saying it when we were watching the film, but I looked it up and it was like it started off as actually there's some fella who just writes all those sort of like kind of shitty urban legends books or something. These are like true urban legends of the US. It's like, no, this is all shit you made up for your book. But it started off with some like he's a disgruntled he's a fella living in the boxcars, during the Great Depression, and he had the dog is actually the devil he sold his soul to, or something like that. It was like the most you've read too much or too many urban legends from like the early 1920s and just try to stick them all together.
I remembered the Bye Bye Man being like a jilted husband or something. Doesn't the movie start with like a husband murdering his wife and their lover?
He's murdering people who have heard the term Bye Bye Man. so he can finish off, or he can stop the curse. Because his wife is alive at the end of the movie because that's the big twist of like, how did she survive? And it's like, because she never actually heard the name Bye Bye Man, and then she gets murdered by the Bye Bye Man anyway by being set on fire.
Does the husband know that? He's not with her 24/7.
Well, I'm not going to assume that I know all the way. He probably just went, did you, the stuff I was researching, did you ever hear of it? I don't know.
Yeah.
Listen, it's not a good movie, or it's not a coherent movie a lot of the time. It's just very fun.
Oh my god, the library scene is like even funnier than I remember it.
When he just keeps getting closer, and it's like it's like the videos.
It is like quickly redacting Bye Bye Man from these documents by scratching it out with a pen.
And it's like that video of the cat that keeps getting closer every time you look at it. Yeah. Don't think it. Don't say it. Don't think it.
Yeah, I can't even think it. That's not fair.
Oh, Carrie Ann Moss, you deserve better. But also, I'm so glad she was in that movie. When she turns up, and it's just her. It's like, God, what the fuck is this?
I didn't even remember she was in it.
Oh, that's right. She doesn't catch. That's true. Yes, that is an illusion caused by the Bye Bye Man.
To get others to do his dirty work.
Yeah.
There's a bear.
Spooky bear.
There's my brother with his entrails removed. She's in there for 5 seconds.
Wallowing in a sea of shame. I was never one to serve.
So we watched Gamer as well at some point. And that was... So it was only kind of afterwards I realized how funny it was. Not that, like, I mean, the movie itself was actually not bad, but that is a film with so many completely inexplicable cameos. Like, there's so many people in that movie who turn up and literally have, like, lines. What's his face? John Delancey is in it. He's in it for one scene. He has, like, 3 sentences and that's it. But he's given so much, but like the camera is centered on him the entire time, and and like Keith David appears for a scene with and also he has a little voiceover. I think he says Morty kill actually, if I remember correctly.
That's the one where like Terry Crews sings a little like Pinocchio's boy song.
Yeah. Terry Crews is it. That film is so fucking weird, and I have not had that much fun watching a movie, I think, since I watched Drive Angry. I think Drive Angry is literally the last movie where I like could not stop smiling basically as I watched that film.
I come from a sea of despair.
I feel like if you like Drive Angry, the Nicolas Cage Five Nights at Freddy movie is like in that genre, basically.
Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely looking forward to watching that or something. But that just feels to me as a film I'm going to have to watch with some people. I think
no doubt.
That's how I'm going to get the most out of it.
There's like this extended bit that's never explained where he just like has to drink this specific energy drink. And it's like just never commented on. He just has a little alarm on his watch, and when it goes off, he goes to get his sodas. And it keeps happening the entire movie.
Oh, God. Is it like some product placement? Just like this needs to turn up every 20.
Oh, it's like a fake soda.
Oh,
it's like some pretend energy drink. I can't even remember what it's called. Like Mr. Something's Wonderland. My favorite part about it is like the people who wrote it were like, "We've never heard of Five Nights at Freddy's."
Good for them.
Like, okay, maybe.
I just they don't have Ethan and I turn up to go very, very cute, delicious pizza or anything.
Not to my knowledge. That would be great.
That's
when she breaks into the mainstream. That's gonna be when she starts making Mr. Willy's Wonderland. Thank you, Jay. When she starts making video game movie crossovers, we'll know that VTubers have truly made it. Though I don't know, like, is she even popular anymore? Or like,
I feel like she is.
I assume she's still somewhat popular, but like, I wonder if others have eclipsed her.
I think what happened, so it's funny, I was looking up the stats, because someone mentioned something about like subscriber, or like someone put up the thing which is like 1 in 4 teenage boys say they watch VTubers regularly, and I was going, well, I can understand that, and I was looking at because I can't remember who made the joke. It might actually been Gerald last year made the comment of like the reason they didn't do a YouTube like 2020 flashback thing was because they didn't want to admit that all their content was driven by VTubers. But I looked at I was looking at the stats after that. It was like HoloLive, which is the biggest, like, I suppose kind of the biggest of them now, of the Japanese ones, is so when they at the start of 2020, their like top talent had like 300 odd thousand subscribers on YouTube, and by the middle of this year, their lowest ranked or their lowest kind of followed talent had more than that. Like it was like okay, no, they like it's all peaked in 2020, and I think a lot of it was like a lot of like the English language YouTubers, because I don't like look if you go and look at the VTuber channel in the Discord, there's no, like, I can't remember the last time I saw a Keys and I thing in there.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I don't look at the VTuber thing in the Discord. I'm going to be honest and say it is a particular middle-agedness thing of me that I just don't really get it, except for like clip compilations where you can just get 5 minutes of funny stuff.
That's why I like watching the Discord and don't really watch any of the others, because it's like, cool, I'm getting the stuff,
That being said, I would much rather 1 in 4 teenage boys watch any VTubers than what they are actually watching, which is like Super Smash Brothers or Five Nights at Freddy's or Five Nights at Freddy's derivative lore explainers.
Oh yeah, sure.
Like the amount of like 12-ish-year-old kids I've known the past few years that like only watch YouTubes about like Super Mario hidden lore. I'm just like, please no, please do anything else than watch these guys.
I think the first time I like really knew about that as a thing now was when like Vinny was talking about his kids, who is I think like 9, like getting like upset about some like Sonic lore thing, and it's like oh like some like Sonic creepypasta thing. It's going like oh no, that's not what I want to be hearing about.
Yeah, I think so. Pyrocat says it's like Logan Paul actually, which actually probably is true. I think I just only know like extremely nerdy 12-year-olds.
Oh, I guess that was a thing.
Act 4, breathe.
Yeah, no, Linkichi is right. It's like if it's not like Logan Paul or PewDiePie, they're doing okay. Yeah.
I guess PewDiePie's still around.
Yeah.
Is it just like he's got way too much momentum to really ever be slowed down by like any of his various racisms? I mean, that makes sense. That is a thing that happens.
Even like after like stuff like he did, even after like contracts and stuff with YouTube got cancelled, he's still on there. Like he's just got enough of a following that they're not gonna they're not gonna boot him off.
Generates his own motion.
It's the same way that like if there's enough people putting money into a thing, they're never gonna get rid of they're not gonna take any steps to get rid of him.
No doubt.
Yeah.
How the fuck are you supposed to?
I'm not sure.
So we're looking for the next shiny.
Canon. Yeah.
Because it
it
shines when it's.
okay.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Yeah, you just gotta look for the light.
Yeah. Right. Where are we here now?
It could have been behind you.
This?
Oh nope, you got it.
That one wasn't shining for whatever reason.
This is like the one puzzle I can help out with because there's actually fairly good contrast between the darkness and the puzzle piece.
If I'm not right behind it won't pull.
God, this like acceleration controls or whatever, movement controls, they are so not fun.
It's specifically in this case you have to be you actually have to be behind it, because if you're at the side it won't let you. It won't let you flick it. Yeah.
Oh god, this is getting so long. Don't fuck it up now, Owen. That has to be okay. This looks like an ending.
Yeah,
maybe. No. Oh, doorway. Yay. Yeah, Jay says Jontron has a career.
Yeah.
Sure. I guess they kind of just like get shuffled out of the public eye and keep playing to their base.
That's it. Like, there's people who like knew of him when he was like in, like even like Game Grumps and then stuff after like before that. And like people just like honestly like it's I think people just don't know. I've definitely seen people like use like clips of him on like Twitter for various reasons, and people going, please don't use stuff with him in it. And then responses of people going, like people responding going, wait, why? What did he do? Or like fucking Nick Robinson, who used to work at like Polygon before he got out as a sex pest. You know.
I've definitely seen people use reaction gifs of him, and then people will like don't for obvious reasons, and then the person responds like totally like, I have no idea who this person is. It's just an image that I am familiar with from the internet.
Yeah, that's kind of the way of it, because unless you're like, you know,
super tapped in.
Yeah, you're not gonna know it. Like again, and like that, like I mean, okay, the Nick Robinson thing is a bit different because he got his like he basically built a career by people who were like outraged about outrage mob style stuff, but then which built a base, and then it was just long enough that people didn't know, like, you know, not everyone is going to know who a random video editor at Polygon was, you know. So,
she lied to me.
You know,
I don't know, wasn't his whole thing that... So you're saying, maybe I'm just misunderstanding. His whole thing was like being a soft boy, right?
Yeah.
So like, and like, being part of that, like, I'm a good male feminist ally type dude. And that was his base, right?
Yeah.
Which kind of makes sense that he would be more vulnerable to like sexual misconduct takedowns because he's groomed an entire I don't know, built an entire audience that are like more attuned to that than the average internet user.
Like also then because he was at Polygon and like working a lot with like Griffin McElroy and stuff, there was also that like there's a like, you know, so that yeah, like Linkichi's right, his career basically reset to 0, but that didn't put him like in like accountability or like, you know, or I suppose kind of like any sort of like personality death.
Yeah, I feel like I've seen him come back or try to come back more than once.
Yeah, his
and
like
just kind of get immediately sniffed out.
His well, like that's the thing of like he can't show up on like Twitter or Tumblr or stuff, but like YouTube, that's fine, and that's just where I think he is now. It's all videos because I get stuff from his channel recommended every so often, and there was a thing where he like bought like a really rare DS game to like review it. So, and I think that was an early attempt to get like some attention, and that didn't quite work out. And then he just like, I think what actually happened was he stopped putting his face on videos, so people didn't like
know it was him as easily.
Because that was that got to a point where like it was literally a you know, Hard Times, that kind of like Onion style like. But for video games,
really,
a channel. They had a joke, which like a joke thing, which was like, you know, you know, something along the lines of like some, you know, person disappointed to find that well-produced YouTube video is actually narrated by known sex pest Nick Robinson, you know, that sort of thing, because people were just like finding his stuff and with no context were like, oh no, you know, this is well-produced and whatever. Like, he was a video producer, you'd at least expect him to be good at that. Unfortunately, not so good at being a decent person, but oh well.
Yeah, what the fuck am I? Say, who the fuck, where the fuck am I? Here and now. Who lives, who dies, him, her, him, us, crossed out,
me.
Okay. So we're gonna have to, this is all your moral choices that you've been making, though I think it's been like a good hour since you've had to do anything that even resembled a choice.
I let all those rats out. I don't know if I had to do that.
Children dies. Yeah. I think you should let the rats out, because otherwise they're just like clustering on top of each other and probably biting each other and giving each other disease.
In this case, they were all like individually locked in cages, so I was letting them out to like, you know.
I think that's still good. Rats should be free.
They should be able to socialize. They're social animals. Let them collaborate.
They definitely are. Yeah. Let them build a new society free of human influence.
The perfect predator, the perfect being, the rat.
Yep.
Let the rats create art.
Survivalist.
Let rats create.
Bubonic plague didn't fucking kill him.
let the rats create the movies and the video games.
Oh man, just a rat-based media economy.
Let rats create Let's Plays. Let rats do the deep dives on Sonic lore.
Upon him.
Yeah, I think it's funny because I don't know anyone in like I don't know anyone with kids around like that, like 9 to 13-year-old age or anything like that. So I'm completely detached from that sort of like what's the current, you know, kid culture, because you know, kids have their own shit, like, which no one like, you know. I think that was funny when when people when people kind of like started looking at what like Roblox and even like, and then also like stuff like Among Us was all about, and realized, oh no, this is like something which has been one of a better term, like effectively wait, that's the sweets for the sweets, just like Candyman. And now this is bitter for the bitter.
Hold on, let me get that in frame. Let me take a screenshot. Sorry, I gotta wait for the overlay to go away. Alright, got it.
Yeah, it said sweets for the sweets first. The sweets to the sweet first. but it disappeared before I could make the before I could note that it's a Candyman. But yeah, I think like the closest I got to like that was I remember when I was in college. So this would have been this would have been after I'd done the degree, but I was still working there. This would have been 2014 probably, maybe a little later. That there was some like kind of there was some like robotics fair on being hosted there, and so like they had like so the science department and stuff were like hosting stuff for like maybe the kids would be interested in learning about physics or biology or something, so they put people like myself and some lecturers and postgrads behind tables with lab coats and different like stuff for the kids to come over and look at and talk to, ask about. And there was one kid there who was just talking to me about, and this is a name that might not mean anything to you, but it would definitely mean something to Jay, about the YouTuber, as he was at the time, because he hadn't moved to Twitch yet, Germa, who is a very popular YouTuber, very popular Twitch streamer / and formerly decently popular like YouTuber. And like this probably like 10-year-old kid just talking about all his favorite German videos as I was there trying to like go, I'm trying to do a job, and I understand you're very interested in this guy, and I have seen his stuff as well, and I also agree some of his stuff is very funny, but please, kids, I need to show people this stupid fucking science experiment so I can get my free lunch at the end of this thing. But like I kind of take that and go like, well, look, that's a very genuine interaction, and I'm not gonna like shit on some kid for doing it. But it was like,
no doubt.
Yeah. And
It's not the kid's fault, yet I do want better for them, even as far as Germa is concerned. No shade to Germa, who seems very funny.
Yes,
I've seen his clips on Tumblr.
You saw the clip of him laughing at the kid getting their head bumped.
I didn't watch it during the stream. I just sort of like watched it long enough to see the bonk happen.
Yeah.
But I came back to it that night and watched the whole thing of him just like fucking around with the bonk timing for like 4.5 minutes.
Oh, God.
Which is like one of the most pleasant things.
Yeah, so
I don't envy him his life, because I imagine it is exhausting.
Yeah,
but he seems very good at it.
I was gonna say that's the thing of like he seems to manage like I know he actually had a whole thing this year where he's gone like, I'm taking some time off because I just need to like, I want to do silly stuff and I want to spend time doing it. So I was like, yeah, and I think people were like receptive to that, which is good. And I think he has done that,
I don't know, that like whole streamer economy of like constantly thinking up new bits, and he seems like really good at it.
Yeah,
like, I've seen like clips of him being like, I live in a Sims house now.
Yeah, that
like,
was
the chat is controlling me.
Yeah, that's the most recent thing. And going, God, that's a absolutely amazingly goofy thing to do, and good on him for even just coming up with that concept. Yeah,
it just like, I just can only imagine like the emotional toll that must take on you in so many ways.
I think my favorite bit out of all that is the clip of him, because like if he was like quote unquote like sad or like unhappy in the Sims way, he would just like go around doing his usual stuff, but occasionally like fake sobbing. And there's just a clip of like where the chat vote for him to stream, so he's just like crying like sadly, and then walks to his PC, which also is set up on his toilet, sits down and immediately is going to go and then hits the button to start streaming and goes, hi everyone, Germa here, and I'm and just goes into the spiel, and it's such a good like in its own right like a
performance art.
Yeah, it's just a very good piece. I think he was also I think he was also in his underwear at that point, if I remember correctly, which is also very good.
Forever is a very long time.
And here I'm just randomly breaking into sobs for no good reason. Nobody's paying me. A perfect
Yeah,
distillation of what it means to stream.
Yeah. Yeah. I was saying you're giving that stuff away for free. You need to start monetizing. You need to monetize.
Monetize my cries.
Yeah.
God, if I would. Look, I need a gig. I need something paying me. I was like seriously considering, like, we were interviewing prospective roommates last night, and there was like a friend of one of my roommates here who works at like a weed dispensary doing trimming. And he was like selling it pretty good. Just like, I have like the specific restriction that I can't do jobs really that make me stand. So, or at least stand for like extended periods. So him being like, you're in a 40-degree room sitting the whole day with headphones in, just clipping weed. It's like, it doesn't sound like a career, but right now I just need something to get me through a few months.
That sounds all right.
I could do it. I got audiobooks.
A life that was never
I've been,
yours.
like I said, I've been like
Dreams you had no right to dream.
kind of like quietly job hunting. Like not like I think I've said before, I have a year on my contract left, so I'm not like in immediate need of a new job. But I'm going like, well, that just means I get to be picky.
Yeah, no doubt.
Which is why I mentioned earlier I was traveling the other week. That was because I had an interview that was in. And I was like, I think so. That was the thing of like we were meant to. I was originally saying about streaming. Like, if you might remember, so I messaged you on Discord. I said, "Oh, are you good for Thursday for a stream?" And yeah, and then it was like 20 minutes later, I went, "Oh, actually, hold on, I might have an interview that I need to travel for."
Act 5.
Yes, we've been in Act 5. I just died. So, yeah.
I keep missing the title screens.
Again, and I was like that was a thing of like, well, cool, I might have this. I still haven't heard back about that one, which makes me think I'm someone's second choice and they're waiting back to hear from else, which is, that's fine. I was like, the thing about that is like it actually seems like a decent, like it seems like a nice job, and like there is, like it's technically at the moment it is a temporary position, but they're going like normally these are entry level anyway, so stuff opens up, so it's kind of like, okay, cool, but it's kind of in like not quite the arse end of nowhere, but might as well be. So it's like, I don't know how the logistics of this would work out, even though I think I would like that job. So it's like, I might have to like think that if I get offered it. But I have other stuff kind of maybe coming up in the next while, so we'll see. But yeah, that's it at the moment, is because, again, I don't need anything right now. I'm perfectly fine to just be picky and go, what's the job that I would like to do? And I think I said before, like I've been looking at stuff that's got like, it's all like public sector, or it's stuff with actual like union support, like union backing, or guaranteed pay scale and everything like that. So it's like, yep, I'm gonna focus on that for the moment, while I've got a year to like figure everything else out.
No doubt, it's a gift in a way. At least in this economy, to know when you're getting let go and to have such a long lead time. Yeah,
that's it. Like, I mean, like, because that's just the way my contract is built, of that I knew it would only ever be 3 years at maximum. In fact, it's actually technically extended a bit. It's actually not quite. I have a very slightly more than a year, because we got extended, like at least partially because of because of COVID. But yeah, it's like God, great. I can just start. Like I said, I can be picky. I don't need anything immediate, so I'm cool. You don't even have a gun. What did you shoot? But
click on the wiggle hands. There is no crank on that screen.
Oh, right.
There was a flashing white hand and no visible objects.
But
painting. That's like in the first game. The layers of fear were the layers of paint on the canvas.
I think in this case they're actually meant to be like movie posters.
Oh, I don't think so, Owen.
No, that would make sense. Yeah.
We're going back in time, various ships. Was this like the power of the fucking reactor? You gotta
No,
get the plutonium rods in.
We're only a safe door, it appears. There you go.
Ooh, pretty easy combination to crack.
Yeah.
Never make it through a heist movie with that one. Yay!
But so while I was traveling for that interview, because it just again it was in the back end of nowhere, so I went up the day before. So I was staying I was just staying in a B&B. My dad actually said my dad was interested in going up to where the interview was on, just to actually see the town it was in. So I went, oh yeah, sure, come along. And we were talking to the B&B owner the next day at breakfast, and she kind of like preemptively apologized. I know there's some people in the room across from you who are getting up early for a flight, so if they make any noise, which they probably won't, apologize. I apologize, but that's people get up for for flights and everything.
Sure.
That's fine. And so, like I said, we were at breakfast talking to her, and she was asking, did you get woken up at all? I went, no, that's fine. And my dad just kind of casually went, oh, so they were going for a flight. Were they going anywhere? Were they off anywhere nice? And she went, oh God, no, they're going to England, which is which I don't even think my dad kind of caught on in the moment, because what she was saying was that they're heading home. Basically, they're not going on holidays. But of course, the phrasing, are they going anywhere else? Oh God, no, they're going to England. Of course, sounds a bit different when you're just listening to that phrase without that very Irish kind of context to it.
Right.
What the fuck is that? But yeah, that's the way I was kind of going. Yep, that's the way I think about it too. Oh, I guess that was something I wasn't meant to. Oh no. Okay, it didn't kill me. All right. Oh, it's like the end of Ava. Everyone's waiting for me and applauding. Is this a maze? Oh. No. I've kind of only just noticed that this thing is like a bootleg, amnesia monster. Oh, hold on.
I really haven't been able to tell much of it.
Yeah,
It's just that it's a bit of a sketchy boy. Hello.
Yeah.
Going through the mannequin maze. Not wobbly, not in focus, man. Don't kill me, says Serge. Is it your brother, or your sister, or your dad?
Or is it me? Oh.
I think you're either the brother or the sister. Bootleg of every spoopy monster artist on Twitter, says Shay. It is very silly. It's also just like, I don't think I've ever had less of a sense of context.
Yeah.
For like what is happening. Like Tony Todd just says like things totally out of context, like an empty shell cannot last, cannot sustain forever.
Yeah. Like Layers of Fear had that problem too, but at least it like had a very clear like narrative and story. Well, maybe not narrative, but definitely a story, which was like this guy was a dickhead and he injured himself and blamed his wife, and it was like, yep, okay, so you can at least have some grounding there, and it's very clear very early on. Whereas
he scared his daughter and gave her a bonk on the head when she ran away in fright. He was never able to recover. Heartman.
I love that sound effect, the bonk. But it's just such a... I know I've keep saying it, but the fact that it is like absolutely cartoon frying pan sound, like who listened to that and went, yeah, this is the way to finish our scary scene.
Right.
But You said you played Observer as well, did you?
I have played Observer. It was more like it had a story. This kind of doesn't feel like it has much of a story, or it's not told very effectively.
Yeah.
Observer was pretty straightforward. Like it was a murder mystery in an apartment complex, kind of.
I think I own that. I might just play that at some point just to.
It's got Rutger Hauer. He's not really acting very well, but it's like kind of fun to hear him. He's doing like a video game acting performance though, which means he's like basically not performing. He's reading things off cue cards. It sounds
like I find that a lot when you get like regular actors. They go, yeah, this person, of course, they're an actor. They'll do voice acting. Well, it's like, no, there's a reason people just keep getting like Nolan North and Laura Bailey and stuff like that on the cast. And it's because you know,
do it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a different type of acting, and it's tough to do. And sometimes you do get people who are actually like genuinely good, but
that was like kind of the topic of conversation with or I remember that being the first time I remember that was with like the Princess Mononoke dub.
Yeah, because
if not the first time Disney did that with Ghibli stuff, it was like really early on, and they're like, we're just gonna cast all name actors, and like Gillian Anderson as the Wolf God and everything,
and Shia LaBeouf
like,
and stuff. Yeah,
you know, not a very exciting vocal performance there. So I've always just accepted the common wisdom of like movie actors are not inherently good at voice acting.
Yeah. Which on occasion you do, like you will, but like it's not common. I think that was the thing people were saying about like the one thing people were saying about 12 Minutes was like at least the two main actors are like pretty decent, and then Willem Dafoe is like, yeah.
Oh, Willem Dafoe is terrible.
Yeah.
And I like bought that game with the like. It might have been free. It might have been on Game Pass.
Sorry, Sass is saying about Keith David. Keith David is basically is a voice actor at this point.
He is a voice actor, though.
Yeah, like he does.
Like he was in Gargoyles for a really long time.
Oh, he's done so much animation and even like voiceovers for like trailers and ads and stuff. He has the training for it. He has the chops for it, you know.
I mean, there's also like people who just have really good voices, which covers it over. Like Tony Todd, he's doing it as best he can in this. People who are kind of like known for their ominous, gravelly voices definitely have an edge.
Yeah,
I think just because, like, I don't know. Tony Todd's working with what he got.
Yeah.
He still sounds like Tony Todd. He's kind of creepy. I don't know. The 12 minutes voice acting.
Do you know the way?
It was probably acceptable. I feel like at the time I thought it was bad. The writing is just awful, so maybe I can't untangle those two things.
Again, I'm basing that off what I remember people talking about, and that specifically was what was mentioned in regards to like, because I can't think of who the two main cast are. I just remembered Willem Dafoe.
It's Daisy Ridley,
who's
the Star Wars girl,
and James McAvoy, isn't it?
Yeah,
who
I
was
feel
young.
like it's basically no one. He's like an also ran. He's in so many things. But I never remember his face or anything he's been in except the M. Night Shyamalan movies.
He was young Professor X in those X-Men movies, which were like mixed.
Right, yeah, I remember at the time I was streaming, Jane was talking about that.
That first class movie is not bad. It's got some good moments in it. I think the ending is fucking terrible, but it's got a good moment of what's his face.
Did you beat the game, or is this just like the climax?
No clue. We'll find out in a minute, I suppose, if credits roll.
I think there was scored like we had just gotten the big emotional reveal.
Nope, some more
I
of
feel
it.
like I completely missed it.
And now we're back at the beginning. Yeah. I was going to say...
you're about to make your final moral choice.
Yeah. Anyway, First Class has a scene with... God, why am I blanking on his name? I'm just fucking thinking a snowman, but like, why is that the movie that's coming to mind?
Iceman?
No, the really awful detective movie. No, the
the Bye Bye. Yeah, I think it was called the
I gave you
Snowman.
I gave you all the clues.
Mr. Policeman, I gave you all
the
the
clues.
I think
you
it
could have
was
saved
called
it.
the Snowman.
It was called The Snowman, but I'm just saying why is that the only movie I can fucking think of with him in it? He's been in so many fucking movies. Why am
I honestly can't remember who was the lead in that movie.
I'm Fassbender, Michael Fassbender. Thank you.
Yeah,
yes.
Michael Fassbender. Yeah,
Yes.
he's another like Mr. Generic Man, where like he showed up like after I stopped caring enough to learn actors' names, and now he's just like a guy that's in movies that could be like one of 12 other guys that all share like pretty similar characteristics.
To live on once they went away. A vast Mr. Hardy.
But yes, anyway, it's got him as Magneto,
What's gone is
like
gone.
brutally murdering Nazi fugitives in Argentina at the start of it, which is it's a pretty good scene because it's like him. And it's actually that scene where he like slowly introduces himself as also being like German, and then showing the tattoo is such a very like there's just a very good build up in that, and I actually like the fact that that's in a
Marvel.
Well, I was going to say even a pre-Disney like Marvel movie. Like that's more than I would have expected, you know.
Yeah, well, they're definitely not going to do it now.
Oh God, no.
A sister's last breath.
Now that would happen, and it'd be like, well, there was bad people on all sides, sort of like, you know, including Walt Disney.
The flame that burns.
Yeah.
It was a very morally complicated situation. Who can know who were the real Nazis? I mean, it was us and them. Pretty much everybody. There were a lot of vampires involved.
Lay your head down, brother. Go to sleep. This vow is no longer yours to keep.
Yeah, I don't know. What's the fun in like having those movies if you don't have Magneto murder a couple Nazis?
Right. Oh, there's a play all along. Yay.
Congratulations.
Wow. Congratulations. Oh, we were the sister.
We were the girl the entire time. We were a girl. Or were we a boy? What if it flashes at the very end to the monster? Here it comes, motherfucker. Monster Flash. Double shadows.
The Night Fiend.
Is that meant to be like the Night Porter?
I think these are all the posters I found, so I assume. I assume these are all like
filled out.
I was gonna say, well, I assume these are all like real movies. They've just put her face on them instead.
Or slightly.
Well, like, because the Metropolis one is very clearly not.
Yeah.
Gosh, I can't remember her name now.
Get in the chest.
Oh no, it's the ending of Binding of Isaac.
Yeah, why does that baby keep getting in the chest? Well, I know why, and it's like really depressing.
Yeah.
I don't really like that I know the lore of Binding of Isaac.
Well, you've played enough of it that I looked up the wiki enough, I assume.
Yeah, I've been exposed. My favorite podcast is Everything to Guppy. So they occasionally go into lore stuff. And definitely from wiki. I try to avoid the wiki even still, but I do read it sometimes. So I think I've just picked up enough.
Did that update come to Switch?
I don't think it's out yet.
Okay. I know it was due soon. Actually, did that Switch Direct start? Someone must have let me know, and I can look up a summary of it.
I'm sure it's already happened. I feel those happen in the early morning where I am.
Oh, they do, yeah, because they're usually based around.
Oh no, it says 3 p.m. Pacific, so it's actually going to start soon.
Oh, okay.
It's in 20 minutes. Maybe they do. They actually Nintendo does it like at different times, right? To catch like different time zones.
Maybe I do that. I thought they just did them all at once now.
I thought they like sometimes did them at like I thought they just had like a couple time spots they shifted between for different ones to like catch different regions of the world. I don't know. I don't actually watch them. I just see people post about them on Twitter. Give me a Toho and Smash.
I'm just, the only reason I'm wondering is because that was like 3.5 hours of something I expected to be about 5, or if not more. So it's like, how am I going to fill? How do we fill in the rest of this? I was going,
are you
maybe
making
I could
a play
flick over
for Nintendo Direct live stream?
That was it. I'm like, well, you're here. We could watch.
I would watch one, I guess. I haven't seen one since like I used to be on A&N podcasts and felt like I had to watch them. Pirate Cat says do it.
Yeah,
I used to feel like I had to watch the E3 things, and then after a couple years of doing the A&M podcast, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just read Twitter and make my way through because these things are so content free. The Nintendo Direct ones seem better.
Yeah, the only reason I used to watch them is like I would watch the like after the VODs after like they'd done them at Giant Bomb and stuff like that. And now I just haven't because it's not like and even like with the next line of stuff is like like Waypoint is like I'm not feeling like watching like these again. Like I used to watch them in the same way that I would just flick on Giant Bomb videos and just let them run and pay attention every so often when there was something funny going on, but I've felt no need to go and seek out that content anytime recently. So I've not watched a single like E3 or like game presentation thing since probably like 2019. Because in fairness, what is ever going to be the moment when Dan Reichert let that pirate stole stuff?
Sorry, the pirate what?
That pirates stole things.
Oh, right. I've only heard about that secondhand.
Yeah. Oh, you've not seen... Wait, you've really not seen that clip of like Alex just putting his hands in, like his face in his hands, and Vinny just looking at him with this like look of like both kind of shock but also kind of disgust.
He thought pirates were just like what? Friendly sea adventurers, having a time. I don't know. I do think Dan Reichert is an absurd human being, and I don't particularly like his sense of comedy for the most part. But that one thing he did with Austin, the bit where they're just offering food, and he pulls the whole carafe of coffee out, like that was pretty fucking good.
I think my favorite thing of those is when he pulls out like a nougat.
What could there possibly be besides more collectibles?
I'm gonna have a look at the list of achievements and let's find out if something really like stupid in here. Global achievements. Let's see. What's the rarest one here?
I want to see what the layers of fear endings.
There's. I assume that's there's probably like a secret ending because there's an achievement there called Rule of 3. So there's something there. Complete the clock puzzle without a single mistake. Wait, what's the other ones here?
There were mistakes.
I'm showing these up on
you completed the clock puzzle without a single mistake.
No,
it was simple addition, Owen.
That one, I think I don't know, because I think I went over and poked it before I knew what I was doing, so I think I did put in an error at first. Yeah, I don't know. Oh gosh. Yeah, it's all collectibles. Not everything was, but yeah, it's almost entirely decrypt a mysterious item. Okay.
Layers of Fear 2. There's something. Google autocompletes Layer of Fear 2 plot stream. Not even sure. It's like just give me the highlights. I don't need to see all the walking. I know what walking looks like.
Let me just have a look and see what time that direct is starting.
I think we got 15 minutes, which actually means it would probably be a good time for me, like bathroom break and set up food. I love how living in California, every website you go to brings up this obnoxious, like, accept all cookies. I don't know. Do you have that in Europe as well?
That came in because of, that wasn't GDPR. That was something before, or maybe it was actually. So it's funny because what actually happens is a lot of times, well, not a lot of times, but enough times you click on a website based in the US and they go, we cannot show you this stuff in Europe because our privacy policy is shit and we've already sold your data, so please leave. It's effectively some of them here.
So it actually seems like, as would be expected, your privacy concerns are actually even quite a bit better than Florida, California, not Florida.
I want to say the California
which is
law,
probably the best in the US.
I was going to say, I'm actually pretty sure the California and European ones are almost entirely the same, in that the California one was basically lifted from the European online privacy bills.
It's hilarious though. Like they give you a thing that's like, you need cookies to access this website, and you have to either click accept all cookies or customize settings, like every time. And if you hit accept all cookies, like that's the way, and now all the marketing cookies are turned on for what it fucking matters.
So that's
none of this matters.
That was one of the things that is currently being refined at the moment in that, was because it's not quite a loophole, but of one part of wording which gave, like, because it was basically what the aim of it in Europe was, that it would reject, like, you by default reject all marketing and say like cookies as well as other ones, and you had to opt in for certain ones, but there was nothing to say that when you're opting in for, say, like login, saves and stuff like that they wouldn't also then require that you accept everything else at the same time without going into like clicking two or three other buttons and clicking on so they wanted now to be that, like, say, like login and what they refer to as functional cookies would be like you click that would be accept, and then you have to go into customize to accept all. It's kind of the one they want to refine it to.
Same here. You've got to go into like sub menus. All right, so, I'm going to run bathroom, heat up some food. I'll be back before it starts, probably.
All right, I will find out where this is on. I'll get this set up. It's streaming from it's on the YouTube channel, which usually has about a 2-minute delay to the start time as well. So, so there's a little bit of extra time there. All right, cool. Just a second.